No one's locked in. Jeff with 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much, Jeff, buddy. Happy Friday, man. Thank you for the support, buddy. You literally just tripling the day. What an actual legend, man. 41 total as well. Thank you very much, buddy. Hopefully I don't crash again. I'm not sure what happened. It's a little hot today. Maybe that's something. I have no idea. I have no clue how that happened or why. Hey, Zux. It seems to be something to do with streaming my browser in full screen. And I wonder if no hardware acceleration is the culprit. I'm gonna try that and see if we notice any issues with my browser. I from memory, I remember having issues using hardware acceleration before, but it's possible that not using the GPU plus streaming at the same time with the GPU was the problem, but I don't know. Hunters seem pretty good. Hunters are exceptionally good into what they're playing against there. Hunters are excellent at isolating a DH.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are moving along here in the bracket for Cup number 3 in the final season of Dragonflight. Of course, we are in the EU region. We're going to see Lava face off against Hula Bang. We just had some incredible matches in the upper bracket, Zico, and I can only hope that with the 2 teams that are up next, it's just going to continue in that way.
I mean, we're seeing it, right? Like, we're seeing some of like the old legends return here to Europe, and then already without that being thrown in the mix, we already have a 3-way tie for rank 1. We got Raikou here, who has officially given up on his mage. He is a DH only player, smiley face.
Yep.
So
we
sure
fixed
that
for him.
Keeping that in mind.
Yeah, he was in chat.
He plays later.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not desynced.
Yeah, we had to fix that. So sorry about that, Raikou. Not a mage player anymore. Only demon hunter.
It's weird that they don't think Rook Mage is good.
Raikou, so we just went and fixed that for him.
I feel like mages are a little bit of a dying breed right now. Every mage I talk to, they're just like, yeah, I'm just on my Moonkin, pressing Cyclone, like Super T's. Are you having fun on your Moonkin right now? Or
I
like,
mean,
what's going on here?
All the Moonkins are losing right now, even in the tournament.
Okay. Wait, it was desynced?
The Outlaw Rogues.
Wait, it did desync?
Like,
Hopefully it was on their end. If it's on my end, then I have.
Like,
It could be the hardware acceleration.
Dude, hold on. I'm sorry.
Let me know. Okay.
Do you guys hear that? Do you
Yeah,
hear
mage.
that? Like, listen close. Listen close. It's a little tiny violin. You can barely hear.
Yeah, mages seem good to me as well. So now we're looking at lower bracket games. These are elimination matches. This is Lava versus Hula Bang. This is 2 top 4 teams on EU. I think it's top 3 teams.
Who is getting knocked out of this tournament here in
I don't know what to think about this.
I mean, this
Warrior versus mage is kind of bad, yeah.
See a red paladin, because this is a question that me and Venruki have kind
This
of
is red
well.
DH.
In a clean meta like this, in theory, red paladins should be.
This is a comment I was
good
thinking
to have
about.
on your team. Let's see here what Carius can do, though, as he is taking quite a beating.
I
Right
like
now.
this into Cleve, I think.
Angel form is out there, and Dex.
Red, we're getting to see Red scaling here too, which is kind of exciting.
Swap off of the druid. We've seen him like mostly on that Resto druid, so he's gonna definitely be put to the test here as we see JT flying up there in the air to keep his team alive. Look at Eridas almost going down there as well. There's so much damage back and forth. Elfwave almost going down as well.
Coffee hovering at half. No blur at that moment. Dex is feared up. Karages is at half health. It's not looking too comfortable. Eridas is just farming the DPS meter right now. Karages finally recovered. Darkness comes down from Elswave during that exchange, but Ring of Peace is also bouncing them away. It looks like they're trying to protect JT. Now, JT playing that Divine Ascension can fly up in the air about every minute, so they've got to kill him in this window while that's on cooldown if they're going to stay on him. But if this turns into a healer race, I'm not too sure if Dex is going to be able to survive. This is going to be a real test for Dex. He's been playing that exclusively, that Resto Druid. So is he ready to step up and fill the shoes that is looking like it's going to be required with that Holy Priest? Right now he's struggling. Karaji is getting low once again. A heal slips through and another setup onto JT. Triple stun comes in from Coffee. And JT, where are you going to go? Does he have the Divine Ascension? He does. He's just immediately going to take off into the atmosphere. And and begin healing his team from up in the skies and avoid those melee attackers. Now Karaji's is low health while JT hits the ground. They can interrupt onto
Yeah,
Dex.
One Okidike does not seem good. I don't expect to see One Okidike do well. Does not seem good. Def, I think with the 5 gifted subs again, man. So this is a shit show matchup. In theory, DH Windwalker is actually pretty good into cleave, and Rit DH is like a counter to cleave.
They have damage to do it because JT is really starting to struggle to deal with the pressure being thrown his way.
They have the 5 more gifted subs. Doubles it again. Almost doubles it again. We're at 14 subs today. You're 10 of them, buddy. Thank you, man. Happy Friday, bud. I'm actually awesome. Small, even better now, to be honest.
Looking for the damage here, but once again, it's going to be JT ducking. He cannot heal himself while he's doing this. So right now, he's just spamming out flash heals.
There's nothing decisive here. Like the Ret's a pretty good target. Both teams are happy with this matchup.
He is in some trouble. He does take off in the private jet here, and he's going to be fine for the time being with that.
Karaji's the rep paladin, just like I can reach him, and he's actually hitting him in the air as he's landing down to there. War stomp! If he kills him in a war stomp, dude.
Both teams are actually pretty happy with this.
But JT survives.
That's okay, Smoke buddy. Thank you so much again, Dev, for the tag it subs, man. Thank you guys for watching today. I know it's a weird time for me to stream. I don't normally stream at this time at all. I'll stream this time the next 2 weeks, and then we'll go back to normal times. Yeah, both teams are happy with it. I mean, DH Windwalker. I was just saying to Ryan as well. Like DH Windwalker is pretty happy to fight cleave, and DH Ret enjoys fighting cleave. They're like, but neither team is like mega decisively ahead. Liam with a good sub as well, buddy. Thank you so much, man.
He trades with the Guardian Spirit and recovers with a huge heal. Eridos uses Touch of Karma. Here's the Serenity. That's a
I don't know if that's how that works.
They need to CC the Windwalker. He's getting uptime. He is really ripping into Karaji's. He could fall at any moment. He gets a paralyze on the Dex, but 1 second.
Is there a decisive winner now?
Swap off. Now it looks like JT is back.
We've got Darkness available, but we just use swap on Dex, and then JT's got swap available, and Trinket. Both teams are pretty like it looks like Priest is not good at heal. I would say that the main difference here, if I'm being real, I don't think that Dex should be a Holy Priest. I think he should be an Aldred.
They get his Nether Walk immediately out of there, and Dex is almost completely out of mana. He's in a paralyzed. Coffee basically has nothing. Blessing and Protection is the last line of defense. He bops himself. He lay on hands as the Demon Hunter, and they allocate their resources effectively to stay alive for another couple of seconds, but Dex just can't heal the damage. He's in Angel form. He's free casting. JT has to go into Angel form, and this
it looks
is coming
like
down to the wire. Anybody could take this.
Yeah, JT.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Dex should be an Aldred. That's the main thing I'm seeing here. Because they're both very quickly. Both Holy Priests are bad at healing through this. Maybe this is just a very unexpected matchup.
Taking so much damage, I don't think he's going to be able to stay alive, and they will be able to take him down.
So the reason why that's a really concerning matchup for them is that in general, you expect Ret DH to beat most cleaves. It's supposed to be an alpha cleave comp, and on damage, we're not seeing that either. But Ardred seems like it would be stable here, and also stable. Like they were I think they would just win on mana. I think Ardred would not be in 5 minutes, and Holy Priest actually was
I wonder if if Dex is a druid, is this any better?
Yeah, I think Druid's the adaptation. I expect to see the same matchup with Druid. And if that, this is a really crucial situation. I'm sorry, I'm muting them. Basically, DH Ret doesn't make sense as a comp at all if it can't win this with Ardred, because you play this comp. DH Ret is designed to beat a comp like this, but the other comp doesn't mind it. But you can see that, like, mana wise, they're both tapped at this point, which is really interesting and very bad. But the Ret is doing top dam to the point that he dies. The Ret was top damage. They're all really close because they're all cleaving. But I do think like Ardred needs to be what they use here. Ken, buddy, thank you for the 8-month resub as well. Thank you, Liam, for the gifted sub. Dev for 10 gifted subs as well. Sorry, I'll mute them now. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting them a lot.
Away from the healer, buying him a couple of extra seconds to get into that angel form, getting out the disarms, just getting out the leg sweeps and paralyzes, and even when they push for the kill, you can see Eridos getting aggressive here, popping his damage, getting the paralyze onto Dex. I think out of the incap there from the Demon Hunter right there.
I think the Holy Priest is bad at healing that damage
Gets the touch
because they're
of
both
death there.
tapped that quickly.
I feel like
I don't think the game.
Bang,
I don't think other healers would be timing out that
it's a
fast.
strategy that they've been exposed to
But
in the
damage is
past.
entirely even. I do think the Ret Paladin's winning because he was dead
I
longer.
think it's gotta be
So the
other
Ret,
small
the Ret
things
was
as
just a
well,
teeny
like
bit
JT's
further
using
ahead.
Holy Priest, Dex is ulting, it seems like, for the first time in the tournament. And I think like little small nuanced things, like
Yeah.
when you're timing your hymns, when
They
you're
changed
using
that. Sunny with a good
apotheosis,
sub.
when
That
you're getting
procs
free
a hype
kills out,
trade as
how
well.
much are you able to
Thank you
save?
very much, buddy.
JT was getting
I'll put some
trained
predictions
and
up as
still
well
did
while we're
double
doing this.
damage,
There's a hype
death
train going, and
effects
there's also
overall.
hype
So
train
it's
predictions
these,
going.
like, these little
Who will
minor
win
differences.
game
When you look at their
2?
healing, they're
And this
pretty
is
much identical. So I think it's
what are we looking at?
mana
We're looking at Lava
management and
Lava
damage output where
versus
JT is starting to make
Holy
the
Bang.
tiniest bit of an edge, and that's what matters.
You guys
right?
have
At this
2
level, when
minutes
you're
to vote.
playing at the skill
This is
set,
actually a really
just
interesting one.
even a
I think if we
5%
see Ardred
difference
locked
is gonna
in,
be what tilts
we
the
could see
game
some
in
interesting
favor.
results.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for Cadia. I think a lot of people on retail are just looking to go straight. Cat is a really interesting meta. I think season 1 of Cat will be more exciting actually than Wrath season 1
If you have,
because the
like,
game gets much more stable in
5%
season
worse
like
player
in season 11 like
counterpart,
tuning.
but
So I'm curious.
comp is, let's say, 20% better than
Death Knight's great. Design for Death Knight's is amazing.
when that comes in. So personally, I think Dex should be investing hard into that Holy Priest, and for Lava Lava, like they just need to figure out the best way to utilize that in their arsenal. What comps can we build around that, and how can we deal with the current meta? And I think if they can do that, then it's going to be good for them.
Now, do you think training the priest is the best strat, or maybe they should go on the Windwalker?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Actually, I feel like
I think they should play Ardred and try and push on Priest as much as possible and try and get more cleave. But they're happy to cleave. They both teams are happy with this matchup.
I think that the biggest thing is that they needed them an off.
Oh, that's insane smart.
Your strategy becomes very
I didn't bother. I didn't. For some reason, I wasn't thinking it that far ahead. Again, the second time, even knowing that they were going to do it this time. Thank you again to Sunny for the sub, Ken for the 813 sub, Liam for the gifted sub,
and try to go off.
and Def for 10 gifted subs as well.
I do agree with that. I think they need better like off-target pressure, like when JT is up in the air.
I'm still here for another like 3 hours today, at least. And then I think I'm going to head out with there and get some dinner, and then I'll be back for either War Games or streaming later on tonight.
Ridiculous here, okay? I want
50 gifted subs! Fried is here!
I want him to
Out
actually
of
try
nowhere!
Repentance as level 3.
Somehow Fried is here, man!
swear
What
it's
the
his
actual
invite
fuck? He
matters.
actually
I've
just
seen a lot
literally
of people
quadrupled
play
trillion
I think it's
apples a
really
day. That's
good.
that's actually a
I
word.
think it's really good.
That is
I think it's
somehow a
better than
word.
mine
Fried
when
with
you have
50 gifted
superiority in your
subs.
team.
Wait, what time is it for you, Fried? I feel like I've never seen you
I
in
think if
stream
they
this
can play, like,
late.
more aggressive with CC,
Thank you so much,
I think
buddy.
that they can just
Fried with literally 50 subs. My thing is
But
confused.
right now it feels like
8,820 as well, man. What the fuck? He's also top on the week again, the second week in a row.
It saved him a little bit.
It's
I guess,
4:30 in the
defensively, but
morning for Fried as
I
well.
would really like to see it.
Fried actually did that.
Game.
The hype train is level 9. The hype train is literally fucking level 9. Fried actually a fucking god.
It's always the trade-off. Like
We
you
love
see
Fried,
some-
chat. Fried has literally changed our lives.
We don't have
Lives.
sex, though.
Collectively,
Every
all of
time I
us.
press sheep, it just breaks.
Thank you so much, buddy.
You know, it's like shadow.
At the
priests
weirdest
break it.
stream
You
time
know, other
possible.
Wizards, you don't expect them to break it, but there they are breaking it.
What do you think of the
Hunters,
games? So have you been watching the games, Fried? Are you staying up late or waking up early?
you know, they break it.
Is the real question. Oh, you're about to sleep. Okay, so have you watched the game so far?
They're just gonna break the rev.
The meta is
When you're playing
so different from NA. Like this is not we're confused. I think the interpretation on EU is entirely different than the interpretation on NA. NA is all there's no cleaves in NA at all. Maybe us. But cleaving is not what people are doing on NA at all. So people are like, yeah, I mean, it's very different. Everyone kind of, I thought, if you asked me before these games what I thought the meta was, I would have said Moonkin, X, and I would have said
saw the stat page for
Mage
these
X.
guys. They formed their team from
Maybe
Solo
Shadow Priest
Shuffle
X for the move,
and decided to play on
but the meta
ladder
is
and then
entirely
decided to
different.
sign up
This
at
is
the start
not
of the season here in
the game we
January.
expected. Fry, buddy, thank you so much. Remember the 50 gifted subs, Liam with a gifted sub, Sunny with a gifted sub, Ken with the 813 sub,
And then
Def
they
with
beat
10
some
gifted
really
subs.
big names as well in the cross region event. And now moving into this tournament, they're looking to make another stand with the fourth player, the Demon Hunter on this team, which is looking to be pretty critical throughout this series. That Windwalker Demon Hunter as an option, and so much so that other teams are seemingly copying like the kind of road compositions from them from that previous season. Like, what does the universe look like if Hula Bang never happened? Like, does anybody even play these Rogue Cleave comps?
It's like a post-apocalyptic world. This is the world 10 years after Hula Bang played in the AWC.
Hula Bang completely redefined the game.
Perfect utopia. The game is perfect.
Raiku's playing mage. Raiku's still playing mage. Hula Bang
Raiku's
didn't
playing
happen.
mage. Ceralium isn't on the move.
It's
Yeah.
all Hula Bang's fault. Everything that changed
He
everything.
used ahead of NA. You know what's weird though, Fried? This is the information we had last
All right,
patch.
well, let's see
NA,
Hula Bang
the EU's
continue
meta
to
is
run
playing
that
what
much
NA was
numbers.
playing. We
Yeah,
were
they're
playing this
all
last
their
season.
story has been
They adapted to.
really impressive.
I think Rogue DK is our comp. I think NA invented
Then
that.
the way they formed
We
and
didn't
the
copy that. We just
immediate
played
success
that to
they
try
had
it out,
with the
and it went
unorthodox
really well
comp.
for us.
And also
So
just the
technically
name,
speaking, they're catching up
just a
to
very
us.
entertaining team to watch.
But now we kind of ditched that comp
So you
because
love
we
to
thought
see
it
that.
wasn't great into Moonkins. I don't know. I have no idea. So this matchup, I don't know what you guys voted. They're both playing Priest still, which I'm surprised by a little bit.
Taking a lot of damage, my goodness.
They get Trinket Karma off the bat though. It's a little bit sketchy. They also get Blur. So they're actually just sitting there with nothing, but they get maybe get Bubble. That's Wall, but I don't know. Apparently at the start here, they're both the this team is behind on damage
Hula Bang coming off the
by a
ladder,
lot.
finding the turn in the meta here to try and steal Lava's position in the top 3. I do wonder if they'll be able to earn enough points to pass them if they win the series. And right now, with how much damage Coffee is taking, I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to stay alive here. He goes retreating away, but then they just swap the carry G's and he gets shredded through. And he's trying to line of sight Elswave's damage. He has to lay on hands. It's good to use that before dampening, but it puts you on forbearance, which means you can't bubble for some
I think Rogue
time.
DK should be
During this period,
great into Moonkin.
they might be able to overwhelm him. It's a risky gamble that you need to take.
Not normally, actually. We didn't like it last season. We actually specifically stopped because of that.
Season 3, but even with the
Could be
demon
bubble
out, so
air.
they're still
Could
using
easily
the
bubble air.
setup, isolating the target and just bursting them down.
This is
At
a
point,
wings
a lot of
proc.
their
The
best
D, the other thing is they're critting so often that Rich should be so good here.
There just isn't one.
The pink line is me drawing on the screen. Fried buddy, I love you, man. So this is wait, what is the defensive cooldown on Coffee right now? Oh, it's gonna be sacrificed from carry. Thank you guys for the insane high turn, by the way. That sank onto Dix. We might get bubble. There's a reverse on the Hodge. He walls it. He's DR though, which is nice. The wall's enough, it looks like. This is the Serenity from Eridus. Do we have any obvious openings? They've got no trinket, I guess. We don't. So we've got Bob. So yeah, we're not really in any obvious spots. They can get put in a really awkward spot where Carry has to bubble Bop here. He uses wings. JT getting blasted. Coffee getting blasted. No blur anymore. No, he's got Nether, I guess. No trinket. I don't know. There's no decisive. We're looking like a repeat. There's bubble from Carry there. We've got Bob still in 30. We've got no darkness. Oh no! That's the Bob bubble. The spell on the Bob. Maybe he still has it. Bob on, but Carry's still low. Priest can't heal through this. I just don't think Priest is the right healer for this matchup at all. Unless the Druid dies. Because Carry just looks so unsafe. It doesn't look like there's any stability whatsoever. Trinket. Oh no, this is really, really rough. He trinkets. He has no void shift. They're both dead. There's no chance. There's no way. They're both 1 health, right?
Dex stabilizes him with the Guardian Spirit there.
Bell with the 39-month resub as well. Happy Friday, buddy. Thank you so much, man. It says we're at 40. I'm not sure how many subs are at this point.
It resets some cooldown, gets him a little bit of mana, but now they're out of line of sight behind that pillar, and he's trying to get back in their line of sight.
The only thing I'm taking away from this is Holy Priest can't cleave to the ship, but JT is the literal like god of Holy, and Dex it's an ult, so it's possible that they're doing a similar HPS, but we haven't seen the breakdown. I mean, 200k HPS is absurd.
He's trying to pressure Elswave. JT is not in a comfortable spot. 30 seconds away from his Spirit of the Redeemer, but he
Look at the
just
mana
guys,
difference.
He has a pretty good comfy seat up in
No
the
chance.
right now. As Carry Cheese gets stunned up, a fear upon landing from JT. Dex is into a stun.
In this game here, we can see.
They have to win the game with this Crusade. If they can't kill him in the next 10 seconds, I don't see them winning.
No way.
But they're even just dying in this 10-second window. Dex's Angel is not available.
I don't know. It's possible. It's so confusing. I mean, holy.
You're losing on all fronts.
Yeah, Lava. This is not it right now. The Red Paladin didn't seem to be able to. I don't know, man. Is it the Red Paladin? No, maybe maybe they need a Scooby-Doo cleave. Maybe that's what they need. They need like a little bit more damn here. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Their setup wasn't that deadly. Unfortunately for Lava. They had a close call though towards the end. I think we're going to see it actually right here. I mean, after this highlight reel of Coffee and everyone else of Lava surviving to 1%, there was actually a close call. I think it's the next Hammer of Justice here onto JT. They get him low and they actually war stomp his trinket too. So yeah, they get him low here and then they Hammer of Justice him. And they get
Thank you so much again, Prime, with the 50 gifted subs, buddy.
It was at some point. And it looked like maybe if they can get to another setup, they can actually close it
I
out.
still don't think Red's bad. I think Red should be alpha here. But you got to think about the moments that we saw cooldown exchanges from the Red. It was bubble bop at the same time. I think it was bubble bops. It was bubble bop swap. I think at the same time, basically. And I think if you're put in that spot, there's just too many gaps in your healing. They're taking too much damage and they can't get value from things like Sank.
They could have lived for one more go, but yeah, it wasn't looking too good. Like, and in general in the series.
I'm sorry, Smokeman. That fucking sucks, man. Hopefully everything goes well for you. Everything starts to get better soon. I know it. I mean, from what I understand, it gets worse before it gets better, obviously, with that, but
It's just painful. It's just pain. Like, he's just Immolation Orain, removing your Flame Shock over and over and over and just running at you, and none of your knockbacks matter. So, like, to me, Lava, it's in their name, man. It's Lava. They want to press Lava first. So if the Demon Hunter meta is like this, like, and Holy Priest also can run double Dispel, so it's just like your Flame Shock doesn't exist. You're just getting pounded by 2 melee the whole game, and you're trying to cast a Hex. You're like 5 stuns, 3 kicks. That could also be faded in death. It's like, it's just not, like, you just may as well not. You may as well not. So if they can't utilize him, then they have to play some type of cleave. And the cleaves that they can play, you know, like,
I personally think, I mean, this is kind of insane for them. If Lava goes out here, they're 180 tied, but they go out in 6th place if they die, if they lose this. They are nowhere near safe if that happens.
But it doesn't seem like they are getting the type of pressure that I was expecting them to get with this. So they're going to bring back the Druid. They're going to go to the Prophecy map, which never happens.
I said that one time, like 10 years ago.
And now it's a thing.
It's just been coined as the Prophecy map. I remember that. You asked me for like a prediction, I think it was, for the finals, and I was like, yeah, we're going Game 7, Mugambala, the reverse sweep is happening, the Prophecy.
Prophecy.
It's just been a thing now for 10 years.
It could happen here. There's a chance. Reverse sweep, Mugambala, Dex on Druid instead. I don't know.
It all started on Mugambala.
Why is
what do you think about the Druid, though?
Why is Druid
it's
considered so much worse now? I don't get it. Like, on paper, it makes sense. It should be good here. You just keep Life Plume and stay 80 yards away, and just, if they go, you go bear form. Like, you would think that the Priest would be more stressed than the Druid. On paper, at least.
I mean, if it's a healer race?
Yeah, if it's
or
a healer
like
race.
In general,
Even in general, both, even healer race or just general game, I feel like the Priest in a cleave situation, like, it feels really good normally to be a Druid.
Hello.
I'm not sure. I guess we'll see, because Dex is opting for, his alt priest over his main druid.
Are we getting a pronunciation correction? Carry, yes.
I told you guys that, by the way.
Like caress.
You guys remember? Don't you guys remember the first time we saw his name and I said it means tooth decay, and you guys are like, what? Yeah. Carry us.
Okay, he's gonna have to brush his teeth and his plays in this game if they want.
That's terrifying. That's actually terrifying.
Right now, bringing in the Resto Druid, not looking super meta. you see Carrie, yes, already blowing through his Trinket Sanctuary in the opener. It's a typical trade, though. Get your healer out of CC. They swapped
Okay, well,
Coffee.
they're doing exactly what we were hoping to see, by the way. We're now seeing them play. Oh wait, I gotta change my. I didn't know my prediction. Prediction. Who wins game 2? Game 2 was won by.
Darkness is going to come down very early from
Hula
Coffee. He's
Bang.
going to get Ring of Peace away. Carius is not going to be able to get into that defense. He's just actually going after the Holy Priest. Hammer of Justice.
No prediction for this one.
After the Holy Priest.
I'm curious. Now the damage is going to sit on the Holy Priest, and they can't do the same thing Dex. I think that Druid healing might be kind of insane. They're going Dex, but they've got a lot of protection for Dex. You've got Sacrifice from Carry, you've got Sank from Carry as well. It could be both. It could be either or both, potentially, Johnny. I'm saying Dex. Yeah. Not that. Maybe. I don't know. What am I saying?
And I feel like if Dex can maybe possibly get some clones, yeah, he gets a clone onto the Windwalker. I think that could tilt this.
That's exactly what Ryan said too. Ryan said if he gets clones off, it'll be insane. The question is, can he not get trained into the ground? But Dex also doesn't get cleaved when they attack him, and they are definitely crushing that priest. The priest has no defense, by the way.
Was on the back foot, now caught up in a Hammer of Justice, but there's that Ring of Peace again from Eridos. Every single time JT gets done, they have that rotation on lock with the Divine Ascensions and the Rings of Peace, and that's going to keep JT alive throughout that exchange. And now once again, where is the pressure going to be going here? It looks like Coffee is going to be taking some of that damage.
Yeah, I don't know. How did Lava pick Mugambla? Oh no.
Potentially, no, maybe not.
Oh no. That's lay on hands. Wait, no, that's Bob. Wait.
Sub 5% there for like a
it looked like it was lay on hands, right?
Wasn't able to get the touch of death off there, maybe.
But it was actually Bob. Did he bop himself? And then lay? What even happened just then?
You're right, Super T's. This game is looking a lot better here for Lava. So much more cooldowns already being forced here at the back of that Druid pick, which carries almost going down here. Is it going to be enough though? He's trying to stay alive with just the Divine Protection. He's trying to get aggressive, but doesn't want to use that bubble. Finally connects with the Bark Skin, and now he's going to feel empowered here.
This is live, happening right now.
Oh my God, how do they not
second to last game of the day.
And the Reptile is not going to give them the
all right, so I was wrong. Dex's mind is fucked already. These teams just do too much damage, and it worries me a little. Again, it's one of those things where I guess the meta's just on its head. I want to see DH Rogue.
Oh!
Wait, Dex. What? The fuck? I don't know. I thought Druid's mana would be better.
Maybe Rogue Windwalker just kills the Druid or something. I'm not sure. And they're more afraid of that. But if it's like this type of kind of like the brutal overall damage cleave, I feel like Druid is like the best healer in a cleave mirror like this.
I thought Drew would actually have good mana, but any kind of swap.
I completely agree with
they had good mana with Ellie.
You gotta stay true to yourself.
It's a cleave meta. It's so weird.
I definitely gotta stay true to yourself.
I would have thought DH Red is Alpha here.
Look at Coffee.
Wait.
Yeah, right there. You saw it right there. This is in Omega slow-mo. But actually
I have to check something real quick.
I was like, oh my God, this guy has no idea how lucky he is actually to still be alive. And then they go around and win it. And you said
nice one, Talons.
Mugambala, the prophecy, the
It's such a strange game.
Sweeps. This could be where it all starts. Dex on the Druid arc right now, coming back to life here.
It's pumping up. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting kind of game.
I mean, we can see it right here. The final
Cleavy Cleave is actually, I think, the thing I like about Cleavy Cleave is you can follow the games and intricately understand how they're going in terms of cooldown exchanges, but also you can actually tell who's winning just by looking at the game. Like, everything's very face up, right? Like you can tell who's winning based on pressure and just like one team is kind of clearly winning. That was an example of that not being the case, I guess. I don't know. Is it possible that Lava could do more to fuck over the DH? Like, could they play this game to time it out with just like? I'd have to look at what they're actually doing. Is Coffee just class envying Elsewave? Because I don't see why Elsewave should be. I guess maybe Fist is just like they're better at avoiding damage. I don't know. I'm not sure.
going to hook point. Now,
Wait, you're saying that Coffee's not
something
using
about
PV
areas
weapons? He's not.
and hooks that go well together.
Scrape off
but,
the scrape off the plaque of Hula
I
Bank in the
don't-
tournament.
Is it that big of a difference?
I don't know. Is Huli
Are we
Bank the
different
flag
talents
or is
too?
Lava
I
Lava the
don't
flag?
know.
Both are Shattered Destiny, right?
I don't know, but the play's
Ah,
gonna need to be clean here.
okay.
They gotta swish around the floor.
I
to
think
make
Coffee
sure
is
that it's all
not.
nice and
Has
sweet and
is
clean
Coffee not playing the
for
meta build?
every game, because if it loses
So
a single one out of the
Elsewave
tournament, they
is
might
also
lose their top three
playing
position.
Burning
Hula Bank
Wound,
have a deep run, which
and
a lot of us are predicting
I'm
them to
fairly
at least get
certain
pretty decently far
that
in
if
the
we look
tournament,
at
so
Coffee's
Lava
gear,
Lava, you
Coffee is
really
not
need
playing
the
Burning.
Druids
No, wait, Coffee is playing.
to do some work here and start turning this around.
Wait, what is going on here?
Absolutely. And these are two
going on?
high point earner teams in this tournament. So these are two teams that definitely can go.
Okay, he
distance
dropped
in
Blind
terms-
Fury.
In terms of qualifying later on in the year.
No.
Right now we already are in the game. We already got the action happening here. Erdas
They're both
getting
playing Burning Wound,
imprisoned on his Serenity
but one
into
finds a way to
Cyclone,
get Shattered
takes out
Destiny
the
as
Cyclone,
well by
just gonna rest it
dropping
here onto Dex,
Isolated
who
Prey.
is in Tree of Life, so it's not going to be taking
We're in a
too much
game.
damage. Going to be sending that bark skin there, and now
They
the
proc ring for
immediate
MO
arrives at Station JT.
It should just proc anyway. The MOR,
Two
Sigil of
guys,
Flame,
Coffee getting
potentially
stunned there
Chaos
as well.
damage.
Now it's going to be Carius here, and needs to be very careful. The darkness coming out there, and
Not playing AoE
not usually a
Purge.
good thing if the darkness
I don't.
comes
Is
after
AoE Purge
Carius,
worth?
but
Oh, it
this
is.
time around
No,
it
well,
is.
okay. Elsewave is playing it because he's playing as a druid. I guess.
Moment, trying to stay on JT, the Holy Priest, trying to flip the map on its head here and turn this into a healer race, but they walk into a double fear, and JT is free casting Holy Fires. He is ripping so much damage into Dex
That's
right
a Swift
there.
man,
JT did like
but he's
1.8
still
million. He might
just
kill him. Dex is
dead.
almost dead.
Trees.
At the last possible second.
Honestly, that
With a
tree was
trinket.
super
Such a
greedy.
clutch play by JT.
I don't
So much
actually
damage
know,
right
man.
there.
Was
Dex
that even?
survives. Now they're turning
I
it
mean, it's
around.
sort of
Still
fine.
let's see a protection. And they're
Wait, no, he
running all
procced the
this.
tree.
They can possibly survive another burst
That
here.
wasn't a real
Elsewave
tree.
is hovering at half. Dex into an imprison. They're switching back, but he's got the Shield of Vengeance up.
It's
He can
rough.
barely
I mean,
take
look at the
here.
trinket. The
Hunt
trinket use on
available.
both teams here.
It's a
You've
coffee
got
scroll alert. Dex is
just
trying to stay far
nothing
away. He
on
sees
this
them coming.
team.
He's in
They
bear
triple
form.
trinketed the
He's gonna
opener,
land the double master.
and you can see on
Trying
this
to get
team
in
you've
a
still got
better
JT
position
looking
with that
pretty
wall
healthy
charge.
here.
Stay
He's got
beating far
GS still.
away
He's
from
full
the Windwalker.
hodged.
Still just sitting in bear.
Gets.
He could get incapped
What's
into a
happening
stun,
here?
but
GS on the
JT is getting
Hodge.
crushed right now. Ring of Peace trying to protect them.
They're gonna swap to Dex
gets
now.
kicked,
Look at
but into
Dex.
bear again. He needs to stay in line
Dex
side of
gets
the rep out,
stunned,
and he's there.
gets
He gets the
sanked
Sanctuary out of the
instantly on the
stun.
stun.
He's got Bark skin. He retreats back into the corner. Now, this
He's
is
got
what
Iron
Dex needs to
Bark,
be
but no
careful of, is
sank.
that if he's
We've got
playing
Bop, no
overly cautious
trinket.
and not getting
14
killed, so his
seconds
team can
on
win. So he's still
Carrie's
gotta find
trinket.
moments to
This
get
is their
clones,
moment,
even
but
while being pressured.
he probably has it for the stun,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I
to be
think it's
honest.
risky to do so right now. Serenity is available.
Dex in
And those are
trouble.
three Iron Bark there.
Iron
Before the
Barks,
setup comes,
tree
it's sneaking
procs
a
at a
lot
really
of
good time. He
damage.
tranks on the tree
Tranquility
proc.
coming out.
He should be
Beautiful
fine.
tranquility, but Ring of Peace is available.
JT in trouble.
Parados here, and Dex will recover here, and now he's
Flies.
got a short window where Dex has no trinket, no bark skin, no Iron Bark, no renewal.
Trinket
About
bop
10
is what we've got
seconds
right now
to
from
try to take down
Carrie.
Dex, but right now it's
I don't
Dex
think we're
with
dead.
actually getting
Oh,
pressured by Uriel. They go for it right
unless
now.
he
Huge
pops it. Okay,
damage.
we're
We have
fine.
the
We're
Dex
fine.
blessing of protection. There is that huge ret save coming in there from Carius, and now all of a sudden things aren't looking too bad here for Lava Lava. A lot of those cooldowns that Dex needed have rotated back up.
yeah,
and
we've
now
got
he's
Trinket
finding
sank.
Cyclones, and they need to
Trinket
find
sank for
that
Dex,
pressure
but
here.
mine is
Hammer
not looking
Justice
good,
on
and this map
JT.
is tiny.
JT could be in big
There's no drink
trouble, but
possibilities.
It's gonna be Dex once again on the back foot. He gets sanctuaried out of the stun.
Triple
Double kill
DS
connection. That was a
stun.
beautiful, I think, pre-sanctuary actually by Carius, and he's been playing the game of his life so far.
He's playing it well.
We can carry the game
We've
here.
got,
Coffee.
we've almost got land hands. Nails it.
5%. Like, you better be, how many
Who almost
lucky
gets
credits
one
do you
shot
need?
by?
This
I think
is
it's Eridas there. Has to have been, right?
now it's like, sub 5%.
Full
right
Hodge,
now. Dex is
full
almost
Hodge.
dead.
JT!
Oh, but JT could go
Bro, what
down.
he-
He's got Guardian
that
Spirit,
was
so he's
Lightwell.
desperate prayer. It's really
Lightwell
Dex
just
who's
kept him
got
alive.
Iron
That was
Bark.
crazy. His health is
Stalled
going
him. He's
up. They've
caught
got
the
no
stun.
off healing.
Trinkets, he's got renewal. They're trying to come back in a system. They stun the Windwalker, but now they walk into a double
Got
leg
bubble. We've
sweep.
got big
They're turning it
wings
around
from
with the
Carrie,
arrow
but
down to Dex, and
Coffee's
it's
in
match
trouble.
point.
Dark in
Barely
8
gets the corner off
seconds.
in time.
We're
Now
gonna
he's
have a
building
game that
towards
comes down
JT.
to.
This is
I don't know.
a healer
JT
race
can't
right now
die.
to the finish, I think, and it looks
It's
like
not a
Coffee
race.
and Curious are
I mean, it
both
is, I
having a
guess.
tough time
Both
deciding
teams
if they
aren't
want to assist the
dead.
Druid or kill the
Trinket
priest.
Dark.
And they're going for the Hammer of Justice, but Dex is
Dark.
in the stun. He needs Sanctuary. He gets
Okay.
Sanctuary. He's got Iron Bark. Renewal. Darkness comes
He's
down.
being
This
very.
doesn't look like it's
No,
available.
it's not that greedy.
Darkness is
We've got
protecting Dex.
skin
He's
back
paralyzing
on
instead. They can
Dex.
switch
We've got
targets
bubble on
onto the
Carrie.
Paladin. He's got Shield of
We've
Vengeance,
got
he knows
Trinket on
something to get. Now
JT, so
they're back on
JT's not
Druid.
dead.
Dex is almost
The game is gonna time out, but I think that when the healers are both
He's
it's
got a couple
the
of
priest
cooldowns
that
left, but he
struggles
has to steal
the
up.
priest
It's like a
sorry, the druid that
minute and a
struggles the
half.
hardest. Full Hodge, Trinkets.
Yeah,
Okay,
Dex, how are you
now
gonna do
JT
it?
dies
It's time
next
to
done,
head back to lab and
potentially.
start cooking,
With
because
Cross
right
on
now, Eridas is
Elsewave,
looking for
JT
kills.
dies next
Big
done.
Swift is coming out
You
with
have
Walker
to
for just a
cross
second, but it's
Elsewave, though,
either
to stop the
JT
reverse.
Could be going down there as well. Drops dangerously
No, there's
low,
no
no
reverse.
mana
Yeah,
left
no,
on
JT dies next
7%
Hodge.
HP, goes for the fake cast
JT
straight
dies
up,
if they
tries
get
to
if the
fake
game
cast
times out.
Arias, and the Coffee, meanwhile, Dex is just sitting through a stun. He's got
You're a
Iron
DR
Bark.
away from
I
winning,
think he
but he's
should be fine
about
with
to
that Iron
have
Bark. I'm not sure, though. He's sitting
Guardian in 3 seconds. There's the swap. Guardian 2, Full Hodge. He either dies or Guardians. He dies or Guardians.
He gets the tree of life, and he manages to spam a
He should just
couple of
Guardian,
hits
right?
here with the Reaper.
Flies?
I think he's gonna be able to survive it. And at the
Okay,
same
what do we
time,
have
JT
now?
flies up in the
Nothing.
air,
Dex is
spamming out the
dead.
damage
Game's
onto
over.
Dex. There's a touch of karma. There's the damage. There's no way Dex survives that. He puts up a fantastic effort, but in the end, it is gonna be
Holy Priest kids seem too good.
This series 3-1.
Oh my god, Olubang with an impressive showing here. I do wonder what the series could look like if Dex didn't count out his Druid in this series. I think there's situations where like the Druid is not going to work, but this is one of those ones where a Druid can work. So it's a bit unfortunate. But the fact that they have Holy Priest, something that they can prepare for next week. The fact that these cups are back to back, and I think the finals is also literally right off the back of that. Like, you don't have a lot of time. Like you gotta, if you're gonna make Holy Priest a part of your mix, like you gotta like almost like right now start going on the ladder and start putting some reps in like right away if you want to catch up to JT, right? Like you got Relza and JT. Like these guys have been playing Holy Priest even when Holy Priest is not the meta. So if you're gonna try and play catch up, or you've got to find a way to play your own game, which I think in this situation you could. I think the Druid Red Demon Hunter looked way better. But Dex he's just getting pressured. I really think Aridas and Elsewave did such a good job of bouncing between the Druid and then staying on him long enough when they needed to. They just picked the right target so frequently that he couldn't keep up with it.
Dude, they would have killed JT if Coffee didn't go back and peel. It would have been a 2v2. I really think if Coffee didn't go back there and just stayed on target, I think actually it was a bit of a throw.
Do you win though as a 2v2 with a ret with no bubble and no buff?
I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to judge, right? Like, it's no split second decision.
Well, Elsewave's damage though.
Yeah, that is a problem. That is definitely a problem.
And even JT.
I like how the replay hasn't even like finished yet, and Super is like, all right, Dex, listen, bro, if you're gonna be competing here with JT on Holy Priest, you better get back to work. It's time to queue it up. Dude.
It's time to queue it up.
The guy hasn't even like lost yet, you know. The standings haven't even updated. Super is like, all right, back on the grind, dude. It's just a healer life now. You gotta know how to play multiple healers. That's what's so impressive about these guys. Like 1 second Dex is playing Holy Priest, the next second he's playing Druid and winning games, you know.
Very true. I mean, we've seen time and time again how important being adaptive comes into play in the AWC. So wasn't enough, unfortunately, though, for Lava. Olubang going to be taking that dub and moving on here in the bracket, which we can look at currently. We can see the series that we just finished off with, TBD from Chibaku Tensei and Echo. So it's gonna be either of those two teams. That is a huge match, and I feel like this keeps happening to us, and I'm sure we sound like a broken record up here, but that's a lower bracket match, and it's Chibaku Tensei Super T's versus Echo, which is not. No, go ahead.
Echo versus
So that is
Water for Vox.
crazy good news for Olubang if they want to try and get top 3, which they obviously do, right? Again, I want to thank Fry for 50 gifted subs, by the way, and Sunny for the gifted sub, and Thel for the 39-month resub, Diff for 10 gifted subs, Liam for the gifted sub, Ken for the 8-month resub as well.
Bottom Mafia just chilling in the upper bracket, like, yo, what's up, guys? Like, hello, we're here. And they're just waiting for their shot at them as well. I mean, this tournament doesn't get any better, really.
It's really crazy because Echo, Olubang, and Chibaku Tensei are all tied on points. Like,
for now.
I mean, look at that.
It's gonna be
Oh,
broken.
it is
It's gonna be
points.
broken right now.
Oh,
I
Olubang.
know.
Oh, no.
They're all in
So
the
what
lower
that
bracket
does
right now,
is
fighting for their
kicks.
lives against each other. Meanwhile,
Yes, they're
got
basically
this
fighting
new
for
bikini
4th.
Mafia out of nowhere
It looks like
coming
you
in.
can see,
You
right?
got the Streamer Zone,
But only a
aka
20-point gap
My Way previously.
between these
Finally, you know,
teams.
getting their act together
And
like,
Lava Lava's out for the
imagine
week.
adding 2 more like
Pyro
teams
Pete's obviously isn't
to this, like,
qualifying. They're already out of the
top-heavy
tournament
region
this week
already.
too.
Like, can you guys imagine what
Streamer
that
could get
top 3 is gonna
first,
look like at the end of the season?
which is what,
It's actually
plus
crazy.
120?
We got so many teams right now.
So they could
that are just
jump-
flipping things
They could jump a
around.
decent amount.
But yeah, I mean, either way, it's definitely going to be
I don't know.
crazy.
It's
if that is
intriguing.
a good word. I mean, we were talking about it earlier about how it seems
Jungle,
like the
they're
brackets
up
are flipped upside
tomorrow.
down. You know,
This is
I'm
the
sure
last
people are
series of the
like,
night.
"Oh, it's
Chewbacca
just
10 set
because
is the
like,
Echo. This is
players in the upper
insane,
bracket," but it just
insane
goes to
fucking
show, like,
series.
how good the players in the upper bracket are because they were able to send teams that are so legendary down into the chance of facing elimination. So we will of course keep everyone updated as we move along, but we're going to be heading to yet
Insane
another
series coming up.
elimination round. It is actually the last one of the day too. I feel like these games just completely
I'm glad you like it,
fly.
man.
So
I
we're
mean,
knocking out,
I just enjoy watching the
pretty
games. From my
powerful
point of
team
view,
either way. It's either
it's
gonna be
relevant to
Chewbacca
just
Sensei,
take note of the
or
metas
is
and
it
kind of
going
like
to be Echo, and we won't know until
think
we
out
head
the
to a
results,
break.
I guess, because it's relevant for us going into future series. It's just kind of like something that I ought to do anyway. The other players in the team are doing it anyway. But I get to do it with you guys. We get to break it down together. So I will be honest, Red TH is not like I can pretty much bend the red at this point. I don't see a I mean, Red Outlaws we haven't seen. Would Red Rogue have won? Red Rogue win this? Maybe, actually. Red Rogue might have been good in that match. Like if it was us and we're like, okay, we wouldn't play Red TH, but we might play Red Rogue. Would Red Rogue have won? I don't think Asa would have, but would Red Outlaw? Maybe. Red Outlaw might have won that, but my music's loud? Huh. We'll tone it down. Sorry about that. Thank you for telling me. I don't have music. I don't have like I changed my sound a couple days ago. I mean, I think DHs are a squishy class into certain things. They're really good at exchanging randomly. They're not good into rogues necessarily, but they're better at exchanging into like any kind of like rogue / magic class. But when you're against like a double physical basically, or any kind of like I don't know. I wouldn't have thought Red Hunt is that insane into it, but Hunt is good into DH and like any kind of class with a stun. Well, I turn it down now. It doesn't matter. It's only during the games that I care about. During this part, I have the Warcraft music on anyway. There's music from their stream now. I have music on, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, this is a really interesting series. So Chewbacca, let's think about matchups here. So Echo gonna play DH Rogue. They have no reason not to. It's worked for them before, and so Chewbacca's got a comp that already lost it to a different DH Rogue. Yeah. So Echo's DH Rogue here, and the question is, what can Chewbacca do to beat DH Rogue? They already played Ellie. They played Ellie DH every round. Before, right? No. Hold on a second. Chewbacca lost to who? Chewbacca was playing DH Moonkin. DH Moonkin doesn't sound great into DH Rogue. No, does it? Chewbacca lost to a different team though. They lost to the jungle. Do I expect DH Rogue from Chewbacca? Or do I expect DH Moonkin from Chewbacca? I don't think DH sounds good. I don't think DH... I don't know. Wait, you're fighting Wexo? In the world at the moment? Are you doing sparks and stuff, Fried?
Hello everybody, welcome back. It is the last series of the day, arguably the biggest as well that we're going to see maybe this weekend, depending on if we get a rematch. I don't know, Ben. Either way, It's going to be a banger of a series. This Chibaku Tensei facing off against Echo in this elimination round as well.
Yeah, two powerhouse teams. Echo, I think, is really looking to prove themselves here. They ended up in the lower bracket, which is not something we often see from them. But this Cleave composition that they brought in, the Outlaw Rogue of Waz and Raikou on the Demon Hunter, they looked really good in their first series of the day. So I think it's likely we do see that from them. Chibaku Tensei, they have a lot of different options. But are any of those options going to go toe-to-toe with Echo? That really is the question. Like, what do they have prepared for this series?
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be interesting because if you're Chibaku Tensei and for this series, if you look into the mirror, what do you see but an echo of yourself? Because both of these teams have been playing a lot of Boomy Demon Hunter, right? So it's gonna be an interesting one. I think it's gonna be very much a skill matchup, and so far, quite honestly, even though Echo has been doing better than expected in some cases, but generally has fallen below expectations a little bit compared to the last year. It might actually develop into a little bit of a kind of way guide for the rest of the season, because this is kind of, for me, it's a turning point where the old legends could properly be dethroned by the new blood at this point, right? Because Chibaku, they've been doing so well. They've been looking shaky today, but Echo has been looking shaky in the open bracket, so both teams really got to step up and need to prove themselves here.
Right.
See if they're going to be able to do it. Blind pick is an interesting one. Mercy bringing in
let's
the
go.
Arms Warrior. We have Echo with their classic RMP. We haven't seen mages well represented so far this Friday, but we'll have to wait and see what Raikou, Waz, and Lone Star are going to be able to do. Got a full-on cleave from Chibaku Tensei going up against Echo, which kind of notorious as the best rogue mage priest in the world.
So far in the open bracket, Raikou is without a single win on this Arcane Mage. Lost 3 maps in total, and we'll see how that works out for him this time around. First off, though, it is Waz sitting in a leg sweep into a full lasso with Houston on the Shaman. Waz absolutely dying in the opener. Now Mercy pulling back, trying to reconnect onto the Rogue, is getting clumped up here for a moment at least. His health bar being deleted. It's gonna be okay with Kroto putting down the Ring of Peace, and that's someone we need to keep an eye on here on the Windwalker. Kroto looking to perform.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. It looks like Raiku's going to be playing Shimmer, and he's going to be a really difficult target for them to take down. I think it's going to be really important if they do want to take down Raikou, that Houston is there. He needs to be landing the static field totems. He needs to be grounding and wind shearing. Unfortunately, gets caught into a polymorph and just chasing around the Arcane Mage. It's an absolute nightmare. Raikou follows up the polymorph with the Dragon's Breath into another polymorph, into a full fear. Great crowd control initiated.
You had him the same solo queue, Fred?
He does. Now they make a swap on Kroto.
How did it go?
Really keeping them guessing.
I didn't expect these matchups at all.
Dive of the sword, which is a major defensive for Mercy.
At all. Warrior Windwalker.
Out of the window now. Kroto still has Karma in general as well.
Kroto actually playing a lot of classes at this point.
But it's all about Raikou. Can they catch the mage is the big question. I don't think Kroto's playing Windwalking, so Mercy a little bit less mobility. Houston coming in with this Spirit Link just in time as he gets blinded by Waz, preemptively linking that situation and saving Mercy. But now Kroto is
funny. Raikou said Rogue Mage is bad, but Rogue Mage actually seems really good into this. Why are they Rogue Mage instead of
the moment, but trying to connect onto Raikou. He has Alter Time.
There's a lot of war games coming into account here.
Overall, Chibaku really struggling to find any connection here, and Raikou isn't even playing Frost Mage.
Yeah.
Oh, he's playing. Okay, he's playing Arcane Mage. Arcane Mage is way more slippery than Frost Mage.
Doesn't take him down. So there's a few different ways you can deal with this. One is try to go after Raikou. I don't think that's the most successful strategy. The other one is
try
to win on mana.
It doesn't seem terrible.
So throwing Storm Bolts on Raikou, using Intimidating Shout on Raikou, using Paralyze on Raikou, just trying to limit his burst as much as possible in the match. But it is not an easy thing to do. A beautiful triple Ring of Frost comes in, but they just don't have much damage to actually take Mercy down. The Dive of the Sword is rotating back up, and all of a sudden, Chibaku Tensei, they're feeling pretty good. Waz does roll over, get a kidney shot. He's trying to initiate some crowd control here, and Raikou might just get one shot and almost goes down. Goes to about 10% health, but Lone Star is there.
Is where we went over real thing.
That is a crazy
this meta is not what I expected. You're seeing a cleave on almost every matchup today. In fact, I think it has literally been cleave versus. It's been a cleave on every side. The meta is on EU at least decidedly cleavey, right? There's a cleave into a cleave or a cleave into like Malakasta. That's what we're seeing today.
Mercy finding a solid double fear though. They're reconnecting
So
on
I don't know.
Raikou. They already
We've seen
grip from
DH
Lontar
Windwalker,
earlier
we've
with a
seen
beautiful root from Mercy, but they need to reconnect on him once again.
Unless
Now
Windwalker
Waz
Rogue's
is the
supposed to
target
exist
for
as
a
well,
second
like
as Krotos
apparently on EU.
shot it
So
up.
Windwalker
Mercy
Rogue's a thing,
has the intermediate
DH Windwalker's a thing,
available in
Ret
mid.
DH
I
is a thing,
think might be able to make something
DH
happen
Rogue's a
defensively, but
thing.
Houston
We're seeing
for now
everything.
Gets kidnapped up. Mercy under fire. Has died by the sword.
It's a
might
meta that's
pop it
currently
in here,
resolving.
but Waz sitting in an Elect
But
Sweep.
they have been
The
destroyed in the blind
damage
pick. They
just toned down
expected,
for a second,
they
and they're
obviously
on the roll.
expected DH
Swap
Rogue
after swap from Chibaku
from
Tensei here, but
Echo.
overall,
And
they-
Echo
they
obviously
are
preempted
losing
that.
on mana, and they're bleeding defensives with both Karma and Die by
This
the
comp
Sword
seems
tools
solid
just
into
now.
DH Rogue. This would kill a Windwalker, or kill a DH pretty well, probably.
He gets met with a full polymorph, gets dispelled. Nice win share there by Fuse.
DHXX, I mean, we're seeing Windwalker Warrior as well, right? We're seeing everything.
You often like just sitting on the pillar, but in this particular matchup, you really have to back up.
And again, like I said, Outlaw Windwalker is also a thing. So it's not just DHX, but a lot of DH.
Purging off like an alter time or something like that. The Arcane Mage can
No
fall a little bit
DKs, not at the
behind
moment now.
capabilities,
I don't think DK
and
sounds
that
good
could be
into the
an
cleave.
opening,
Like
but
you wouldn't
Kronos
play it
is
on
all
like the
over
side of
right now
Echo,
on
for
that
example, right?
Windwalker
You
among Big Fist of Furies flying in. Raikou trying to get some big arcane blasts off. But there it is. Static field totem. Can they take him down? Raikou's still
it's just
struggling to
resolving
kite.
still.
There is a little bit of
I mean,
stun coming
Kroto's a
in, but
main
that
DK,
double
but I
intimidation
don't
shout
think
from Mercy is going to
DK
slow down
sounds
Raikou
good
and Waz. They're playing
into
a
this.
slow, consistent strategy, just making sure they peel during the really scary moments.
I
You can
mean,
see
they're
Raikou
catching
right now. Raikou is
Raikou.
down.
They're
Like a nice
catching
block, and
Raikou.
it really shivers away. Looks like he will be able to hold on, but that was a close call.
It's not like they're just clowning
That was
them.
way too close. Raikou with a good DB into Sheath, but netting Krotos Trinket almost gets him killed.
I mean, this is an
situation.
ODH game.
They're lucky that
I
he
don't know
gets
how it
out just
evolves.
like that. Alter time is back up in just a second, but overall, while Lontar is bleeding a bit of mana, Houston definitely looking worse for wear in this situation. Nice lasso as he crosses the open field, and
Oh.
Mercy is ready to chop him up, but the alter time on the pre on the go.
So
was
for those
just
wondering
beautiful,
why
and
Raikou
bounces
can't play
back up
Blink
to
Stun into
4.
this,
That's what you want to see.
or
That's
he
what you
gets
love to
trained by
see,
the
and that's
Warrior.
what we've been
He's
missing
playing
from
he's
Raikou on this
playing
game
Shimmer,
for this week
which
so far. He's playing excellently.
makes
looking
you'll
locked in
notice
on
that
this
Mercy
Friday night.
basically cannot attack him at all.
This is looking good, and I can't help but feel like this is the blind pick that they wanted. So I feel like this
100%.
matchup in my mind.
Chibaku
should go in
didn't want
favor of
this.
Echo. If somehow Chibaku Tensei can steal away
Echo
this blind pick,
just
that would
preempted.
be a massive victory for them.
It was
Raikou
very
slices
smart from
away,
Echo to do
dropping the
this.
Ring of Frost. Mercy just spinning through it in the meantime.
But
Was the
I
ultimate
guess they
time.
can
Full
try
stun
and
does
global
land. Needs to be
Raikou
careful, gets
potentially.
stripped away. Good back up there by Lontar. Just really
Blink?
enabling Raikou,
I
but he
mean,
gets
Melee
caught, and
melee
both these
abilities
healers just
also-
making it difficult
He
for
might get
Raikou.
one
Lightning
tapped.
Lasso comes in after the leg
Greater
sweep.
invis.
Nicely done, but is it enough? Greater invisibility from Raikou, and I'm going to take a quick peek at his talents to see what he's running.
He's Shimmer.
Yeah. Overall,
hitting
blind
every
pick
stun.
against Chibaku generally is
He's just trying to
incredibly
kite the
scary. I
Warrior
think these
outside.
guys
He's
have
not letting him
like
sink any
80%
damage into him.
rate in blind picks overall, which is insanely scary to go up against. And that's not just 80% win rate against bottom teams and lower bracket teams. This is against upper bracket, the top teams, the Echoes of the AWC, and Lontar getting swapped to down to half, is bleeding mana like crazy. Houston now on the same level. Mercy kidneyed up, is going to trinket that immediately, stay on target, trying to reconnect. They've swapped to the Priest, and they're really making him pay for it at the moment, as Mercy is still fine, has Rallying Cry available. Karma is up, as well as Krotos Trinket. Might have to invest something here, as Houston pops in the Tide. Waz kills that off immediately. Mercy just dropping lower and lower. No Trinket link available. Maybe the NS can do something for Houston, but it's getting dicey here. Lontar
Looking
once again the
rough.
target, down to 20%. Getting chopped up, execute range. Mercy once again pops to their Rallying Cry.
But
10%
but
mirror
Waz at the same
damage,
time.
anything in terms of
Oh.
defensive. The stance is in, and there's the surge, taking him down, drowning him out.
I mean that.
Yeah, Arcane
Let's think about
Barrage
that.
gonna
Mercy.
seal the deal there for Raikou. He's able to just completely
I don't know. What does
tee off
Mercy
at the end
have?
of that game, free casting,
They just play.
just unleashing all that arcane
Honestly,
magic and eventually
If
taking
Croto,
down
if
Mercy.
Croto is
So
a,
Echo
they've got
coming out
limps.
great
They should just
game
have.
one
They should play
pick.
DH Windwalker.
Raikou, as
in my
I kind
opinion.
of expected, he's playing so many defensive talents on the
I think they
Arcane
will
Mage,
play
he's
DH
really
Windwalker.
difficult to take him down.
They have
Playing
DH. If they've
shield,
got Croto and a Windwalker,
kind of
they may as
peel
well
back
play
a
with
lot of
limps on the
damage
DH.
he takes if he times it well. Also
They'd have a
playing
better
Master
chance. They could
Escape,
both attack the
which
mage
a lot of Arcane
at different
mages
times.
are opting to do.
It sounds
do a
better than
shorter
Warrior.
cooldown
Warrior is
on your
obviously getting
greater
bullied like
invisibility
crazy in this
wall.
matchup.
That is a really like your
But there
uptime
may
on
be a
Raikou is
ton
gonna
of
be low,
there may be a
but if you
ton of wargame
also
history here.
happen to have temp shield and you have
Um,
your greater invisibility so often to deal with those burst moments, it's just really
Yeah.
unlikely you're going to go down. So
I don't know.
I like Echo's game plan in this one.
Yeah, nice of production to also mention that Raikou literally just made us change.
Mage
the
non-existent on the
graphic
2K.
because he said Mage is dead.
That's actually interesting. That is.
Good
So
to see
basically,
that,
Mage is a
found the
class that
path
has a high
back
skill cap.
to his
It has a very high skill,
serenity, it seems.
like
Well, one way or another, Echo win the blind pick. And
it's
of
like
course,
you won't see
that
many
makes
rogues on the
this
2K either,
series
right? But that doesn't mean rogues a
a lot
week.
more exciting
It just
than
means
I
that
thought
you need
it
to have a
was
good
gonna
mechanic.
be,
You have to have
because
like
still,
for them to
even though
work.
Chibaku struggled a
They
little
kind
bit
of
in the
have to
tournament,
have
I still was
superior
confident
mechanic
that
knowledge
the
to the
favorites
like
going into
they,
this one.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
to
I
drive a
mean,
mage
especially
or
after that
drive a
game.
rogue,
I don't
you
know if
kind
they
of
can
have
be
to
able run
play
this
it
again. Like, I don't know
mechanically
how well
at a very
Arcane
like a
RNG
relatively
is
high
gonna
level.
do in, like, into, like, a Moonkin Demon
Which would
Hunter.
mean you
know,
wouldn't
they
see
play
it so
Moonkin
super
Demon
often
Hunter
below
Wrestler
2K.
Tribe.
It doesn't mean it's easy. It's super hard to
That
play,
might be the
but if they
matchup
play
that
it well, they
want.
play it quite high.
I'm pretty sure that they locked in Windwalker Warrior. to
Exactly.
beat
Like
Outlaw
it's
Demon
difficult.
Hunter,
It's
so I think
difficult.
Echo just
Like a
outplayed them
2K
to be
mage
number one.
is just dead,
Yeah, Raikou,
probably.
the mage, obviously going to be looking really good. Yeah, sometimes he can be a little, a little bit of hyperbole in there.
Is there an XQ dash thing?
Mage strength, but yeah, it is nice to see the mage come in, and I think in this particular matchup, the RMP looked really good.
Bro, Mage is dead. It's over. So over. But yeah,
That's kind of
jokes
troll,
aside,
but
Boom
we're
Kid,
gonna
Demon
see
Hunter,
the same
definitely
matchup on Hook
possibility,
Point.
and of course,
I don't think they're gonna
it's gonna be
play
hook point from
Warrior.
Chibaku Tensei. Echo needs to lock in their comp
I think Limps is gonna show
immediately,
up.
and It is gonna be exactly that RMP. I mean, it's
They'll
Echo's
probably just play
bread
it-
and butter comp,
well, they'll
right?
probably
It's
just play-
It's one of the main comps that through which they've stayed
Doesn't
so dominant over the recent history, and now finding
So they
back
just
to
throw in,
form,
like,
especially
their
with Lonta picking up this priest.
Mercy on lock.
Maybe.
Does
we
the
are
lock do well
witnessing
here?
a return
Lock
to peak
DH?
form for Echo here this season after all.
Like previously, they play lock DHA every time, but it's Hook
Definitely a
Point. So why they pick
possibility. We'll have
Hook Point if they didn't want to
wait and see
cleave?
what they can get done, but I think anytime
This
RNG
might be
is
the
on
first
menu, this
non-cleave
team
v
always
cleave,
looks
like
good.
cleave v
And the fact
something
that they're
matchup.
also
It may
keeping
it may
up,
be Malikaster versus
bringing those
Malikaster.
cleave setups when they need
They're
them is
playing
nice too, but
TSG.
it's
I
that
can't
is
wait
the
to see this.
interesting
I'm
one,
excited
too.
to see
So
this.
they're actually just gonna be mixing
I don't
it
know
up
what to
even
think.
More. You would think
This
the
is fun.
Arcane Mage would be.
I'm gonna
good
do a
with
prediction.
cleaves,
So-
and I think it is, but
I just don't know if I agree with the
There's
Warrior
one
here,
thing
but
that can actually
you guys have
stay
got
on
2
an
minutes to
Arcane
vote
Mage,
here real quick.
and maybe
Very
Raikou will
interesting
prove me
matchup.
wrong in these games, but
Extremely
it's
interesting
this
matchup.
composition. Like when you have a
I
warrior
want to see the DK's damage.
on a mage, it's
and I wanna
really
see his
difficult to
gear
hit
as
them, but
well.
When you add a Death Knight into the mix using Chains of Ice and Grip,
The DK
it
does
actually kind of
help him
evens
a
the
little
fight,
bit,
and I do
but-
think Chibaku
Yeah.
Tensei will get a decent amount of uptime here on Raikou.
Mercy will be able to
I'm also
play here.
wondering if
a little bit.
Croto is going to
The first Death Knight game of the season.
I'm just going to call it the supportive shell. The talent that lets
I don't know
you,
if they're playing
activate
support shell here. Maybe. I think Strang has value, I think.
Could be an interesting
I
twist to
would
kind
be
of
very surprised to see it.
Keep Raikou from murdering someone with like a little burst go, little arcane surge and touch of the magi, etc.
It's really nice. Like, so if Croto does play that ability, I think it's called spell warding. So it's like it reduces the cooldown of your AMS and lets you use it on allies. Croto uses that. He can defend his team, and he can especially defend Mercy if they go after him. And on the flip side, if Mercy also plays Safeguard, he all of a sudden has a really good defense with his Intervene, giving 20% damage reduction to Croto and Houston when they need it. So
Suppose this matchup
becomes,
was better than
like
you
a really
expect,
nice
but I'm
defensive
curious.
synergy when the DK is playing, he can cover the
Yeah,
magic damage.
Croto's
or can cover
got a
all
lot of
damage.
diversity in his
He
classes.
kind
As
of
a main
make
Death Knight,
bulletproof team. But
he
that
plays a lot of
strategy
stuff.
especially wins on mana. So that's like one of those
Yeah.
strats where you're trying to just out attrition your opponents. I'm curious to see if that's what they go for, if they do decide to go for that more offensive strangulate.
Well, we'll see then. It's the lower bracket after all. This is 2 of the top 4 teams in EU battling it out against each other, and this is second round lower bracket. One of these teams is going to get eliminated. And hey,
TSG,
if you're gonna
I mean,
get sweaty for that,
it's
I
their
don't
mains, right?
know
It's
what
main
else
DK. This is a
would
triple
be,
main comp for
right?
them.
So we're getting pretty
You bet about
damn
an
with this
Echo?
game, I'm pretty sure.
It's a good
So
map for
overall, it's
TSG. If
gonna be
TSG can't win this, you
what
can
I'm
kind of
curious
write it off
about
as a
is how
comp.
well DK
Into,
can
I mean,
keep
at least into
up.
this.
Last season, DK was very good
All
at
right,
the
guys, you guys have a
start,
little bit
then
of time to
got
vote.
nerfed
Thank you
quite
again to
heavily,
Fry
and
for the
at that
50
point
gifted
was
subs, Ken
very
for the
niche.
8-month
So,
resubs,
very
Sunny for the
curious to
sub,
see
Del for the
Croto
39-month
step up
resub,
to the
Def for 10
plate.
gifted
A
subs,
little bit
Liam for
underwhelming
gifted sub.
performance from him in season 3. Maybe season 4 is going to be his time.
Echo's looking like they're.
See, we'll
Did you actually put 200k on Echo right now?
Anti-magic shell gets traded very early on with this trinket. That is going to be some initial pressure here.
We'll look at
onto
builds after
Raikou,
this, but
one thing
he's
about the
playing
Arcane
Strang, I can
Mage
tell
that's
you that,
really nice
'cause you can
is
see
when
Strang
are
on his cooldowns
cleaving
there.
Arcane Barrage,
We've already
you get,
trinket,
Arcane
but
Orb
not
Barrage,
zone.
so
What
you
do we
can
trinket?
basically
We
chain
trinketed
them
on
together,
Crota
Arcane Barrage,
already.
Arcane Barrage,
We're
Arcane Barrage,
pushing
get
on,
lucky, so just watch for that in this game.
On
That's one
Raikou?
of the downsides of being an Unholy Death Knight against
Mercy's still struggling a little bit. Double cheap shot and kidney. There's a ring follow up. Mercy in a little bit of trouble. There's no zone trade. He trades parry before the re-cheap shot. Goes into ring, gets DI, gets DI again, gets fair, breaks the fair. He actually, that was kind of an insane play, but I think he was playing on top of him to get the fair as early as possible. So very, very well done that to save Houston's trinket. It's fixed onto Waz. Waz taking a bit of damage, not a huge amount. They're going to play onto Raikou in a sec, I think. But Mercy getting blasted. Fair onto Waz. Poly onto Houston. Link. Trinket Link. This is not looking good now. Maybe after Adrenaline Rush is down like it is now, we start to see more happen onto Raikou, but
would have saved the Spirit Link totem there. So something to note, they're going for that more aggressive Strangulate. Let's see if it actually gives them
I think
value.
we're playing Cloring based on the fact that his animations. I think Kuro's playing Cloring.
Anti-magic shell drops for Kuroto to try to keep
But
Mercy
Kuro's down
alive,
is
but
not
I would say
super. He's top damage by a decent chunk, but
this is not.
I mean, 100k single target's not bad. Mercy getting annihilated. XQ range, XQ range, XQ range. Asphyx leap. Aura Mastery heals.
Finally going to be tossing in some big heals. That it does seem like they will survive, but they just
We need a one-shot. We need to see a fucking one-shot onto Raikou at this point, because they are significantly ahead. There's no GS. There's trinkets available. There's a off kick onto Lone Tower.
Getting eyed up by Waz once again. He's seed up.
I don't know.
Mercy, the next target, has Avatar running. You want to peel him as much as possible as he's trying to connect here, intervening. Houston.
I mean, Mercy is really getting virtually nothing done is the issue.
Working at all right now. Another beautiful Frost Nova by Raikou, interrupting the
fucking, that's an awesome lasso.
Setting them up for glory here for the moment at least, but Waz
grips him back, kicks him. Oh, well, he cancelled it. He actually faked his
point. They're playing this perfect on the defensive level.
He actually faked his
trying to do something here with the defensive fear, not able to really set it up, but they do want to stay on target. In terms of mana,
they're just trying to slow him down. That's they're slowing down his Adrenaline Rush, by the way. The CC is being shoved on Waz to stop his Adrenaline Rush.
But then again,
a timeout.
The entire first map, they looked like
That's
they
what
were
they care
losing
about.
the match through. Now it looks like they are losing the entire match through. That's not a spot you want to be in against an RMP.
We've got Trinket on Houston. He's fed. He can't get the leap. He actually leaps and gets the
leaps over.
Berserker Age.
Damage rolling here onto Waz, onto Croto, blind
Berserker
now
shout.
on Raikou just to slow him down a little bit.
Barry seems OP.
Allow Houston to catch up. Mana though in favor
it's
of
keeping
Echo,
up.
which is a little bit
There's
surprising at this point.
Yeah,
Perhaps
that is
Houston's
surprising
gonna be
actually,
able
because
to kind
Kuroto's doing top
carry
down,
and coast,
but Raiku's
a
just too
little bit later
tanky.
on in the game, if he stops throwing out purges, etc. But a full
Yeah,
kill
Warrior looks dog shit here.
sniping off all the healing stream totems.
Death Knight looks fine. I mean, Death Knight is probably like plus 50% or something. Oh!
Healing stream totems are
Big
being
one
killed. In the meantime,
shot.
though, Raikou getting bursted
He holds
down to
on.
about 10% health, gets ripped away.
Grips him back.
Lontar has his work cut out for him, but finally Chibaka Tensei.
Oh, this pressure is starting to sink in. Waz evasion. Raikou half health.
Asphyxiate. See what they have.
Temp shield helping him a tiny bit. Ult helping him a tiny bit. But wait, that's a low ulta. The ulta pops. The ulta pops. He gets grip back.
Steam that Chibaka has been building.
This is the Warrior's starting to look super OP. Yeah, not the Death Knight. They should definitely nerf the Warrior. DK Fresh is starting to look good. He's starting to pull ahead with a nice 50% lead on damage. He's possibly doing a lot more because of the cleave onto pets. We might see a really fucked up scoreboard here. Raikou half health. Block available. Swap and block. Cancels. Was nothing, by the way. Was literally a sitting duck if he gets attacked. Mercy no parry. We've got Trinket Link. There's a zone, but it's not on anything in particular. They're trying to push for the win here.
Going forward, looks for the DB, can't find the sheep as follow-up. Arcane missiles are being thrown out.
This could be the game that gets Warriors nerfed. Raikou in trouble. Raikou ults to full HP though.
Much further. They reconnect on the mage
Grips him
and then
back.
slowly but surely,
Blinks
Echo
again.
starting to crumble here on hook point.
Nice leap. He's actually attacking this Warrior. He's not slowable during this.
And ice block, and Raikou did
Spins back across to him.
He was full health. But that's a massive
DH Rogue's not decisive in this, but he has a nice kick.
And this is looking better and better for this Warrior Death
The
Knight.
TSG is just pulling ahead. We've got Trinket Link. We've got no mana at this point. Low HP, nothing.
Raikou just caught. He can't kite. He can't get away. Their uptime is immense. He shimmers away,
They're
trying
getting
his best
blasted,
to get
man.
some
There's a
control out,
defensive
but
fair again.
doesn't look like he's
But
gonna
look
get
at
this
Croto,
straight.
man.
Croto
Croto is just
chasing him down to
unrelenting.
10% health. I think
I
the
mean, this
Guardian Spirit
warrior
proc
is
there.
basically
Dragon just in
unkiteable.
so much trouble, just spamming out the barrages, temporal shield.
Basically
trades, can't find the
unkiteable.
polymorph, looking for
Here's
it,
the surge,
manages
though.
to
They can
sneak
win.
it in.
They can win.
Nicely done there by Raikou.
Trinket
Getting
link
the Arcane
available.
Surge as
Might
well.
need
This is
it.
their moment
But
to get the
wait,
full
he's
polymorph.
gripped
The
back,
Arcane Surge,
asphyxiated,
but no defensive
stunned on
cooldown
his
for this
trinket.
force so defensive. Lone Star's out of mana.
Executes coming
And
in.
this pick from
Not
Chibaku
from
Tensei
the
is
warrior,
looking
obviously, from the Death
amazing
Knight.
on the smaller
Mercy.
map.
Mercy pops in the rallying cry as well to break the Frost Nova, just to
Oh,
really
that sounds
hammer
like-
the advantage
that's a
home.
Chrome
Raikou
play.
is suffering. Waz as well. Lontar
He's
is
dead.
tapped, out of
No way.
cooldowns,
No
out
way.
of mana,
Wow.
out of options, and
Bruh.
out of time. Echo
Don't look at
goes
damage.
down serious, evened out.
Yeah, all tied up 1-1. Chibaku Tensei showing they are here to play. I was a little bit doubtful of the
I
pick,
think
you know, a
I
couple
think the
minutes into
DK does
game,
50%
it
of
wasn't
everyone's.
so
I'm
good.
pretty
They
sure
had
if you look at
very
actual
low
squad load
pressure.
damage,
They were
you
converting
throw
their
up.
defenses, but as the game went a little longer, it seemed like Echo was running
Look
out
at
of
this.
steam. They
Look,
weren't
when there's
finding
when there's no
enough
pad
damage
involved, there's no
during
pet
their
damage.
setups, and
Look at his
ultimately
damage on
Chibaku Tensei,
his actual damage.
was able to pull out a win. It was a long game though, and there was some close calls.
Absolutely. I also think that is something Chibaku can adjust a little bit. I mean, it's the first game on this comp into Echo's RMP today.
It's not really
so
rot. It's really
you
just
now know what you're
the priest
expecting
is struggling
for
to
the
heal
first
through
1
it.
or 2 minutes where you're really on the back foot because they're pressuring you so much, and Chibaku has proven enough adaptability over the course of last season that they should be able to kind of adjust their gameplay. The other
That's
problem,
not
really,
what-
of course, will be this was Hookmart.
Nah,
This
it's
is the
not. It's
smallest
actually
map.
not.
This is
It's not
prime
barely win.
territory
Actually,
for TSG,
they
right?
were
So
decisively
now they're going
ahead
to
at the
somewhat
end.
larger
Not
map for
barely.
Echo, probably.
They had nothing
I mean, I
to
wouldn't
work
be
with,
surprised
and
to
we
see
had Trinket
someone
Link
like
available on
Torgon
the TSGs
or
too.
Maldraxxus even.
And Tidal looks like they're
It's
fucked.
gonna
Look at
be a lot
them.
harder for the DK.
Look how unbelievably one-sided the end of this game. It's not the end,
Yeah,
like the last
definitely
part, but like
hard
just
to
in
know.
terms of
But,
cooldowns,
when you have
they
a
have no
DK and a
hope.
warrior, you can kind of
Trinket Link is
make the
a
map
pretty strong
smaller
button to
in a
have with
sense,
tied
like,
up.
It's a hard, like to me as a
Oh,
mage,
there
the
it is.
absolute hardest thing to get away from is a warrior and a death knight together. They can actually stick on you. Everything else you were very evasive against, but against this in particular, because they just have they have a decent amount of mobility, but also just the double grips and the change.
THX Gear now. I mean, DK might be good.
does make it difficult. So I am curious though.
Yeah,
I do think
definitely
this
damage is
gonna
pretty
be one of
fucked
those
up.
Series where winning the blind pick potentially wins Echo the series completely, because I think if
By
they
the
lock this
DKs?
in again,
We're gonna
Echo's
see.
just gonna play cleave. I think
They're
just
gonna cleave. I'm
play
gonna
that
see how it
out.
goes.
Hmm,
200. Oh, hang on a second.
maybe.
251k Mortal
How
Strike
will you
hit.
about that even? Do you think that Demon Hunter Outlaw Rogue is gonna beat Warrior Death Knight?
Huge MS
I
for the
kinda
kill.
do. I feel like the biggest problem
They don't
right now
have-
with Death Knights is they kind of just die to physical DPS. Like that's their biggest vulnerability. Like into casters, they're not too bad, but against these cleaves that kind of just sit on them, it becomes difficult. But maybe like a warrior backing you up with Safeguard and Fuston gets good Earthenwall totems. It's
All right,
definitely a
we're gonna do-
possibility, But I would be really afraid.
You guys all voted
if I
for
was
thing
Chibaku
Chibaku
Tensei
won.
against
Predictions going up. They
Outlaw.
picked the same comp. They just don't actually have. I mean, I would have thought DHDK, but I guess the Warrior is a bit tankier than a bit more durable.
But they're
You guys
locking
got
it
2
in
minutes to
again,
vote.
going to
Give me 1
Ashman's
sec, guys. Thank you for watching.
Fall. Not necessarily a map that has been played a lot between these two teams, but it does pop every now and then. The last one they played against each other here was in the Cup 2 Grand Finals last season, and back then, well, Chibaku Tensei, some of you might remember, rolled Echo quite convincingly. The other one, well, mid-season clash. Do we count that? I think we should. That one went the way of Echo. So overall, 1-1. Who wins the best of 3 on Ashmains? We'll find out in a second, but I do expect Echo to change it up here a little bit at least.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what they're gonna do. Maybe Fire Mage. Bring in the Fire Mage, Living Bomb, Flame Strike build. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I highly doubt that, but it would be fun just to see. It'd be an explosive composition and specialization. But my gut is telling me we're seeing a Demon Hunter. I think Raikou might get off the Mage and log on Demon Hunter and just cleave up Mercy and Crota.
Well, he did tell us that Mage is dead and Demon Hunter is the one true way now, so we shall see about it. Overall, Echo... Oh, okay. Okay. Scratch whatever I wanted to talk about right now. They are bringing back Mage Lock. So, I'm saying bring it back because this is what actually saved Echo from getting eliminated in the open bracket on Wednesday. They ran this into another melee cleave, into a Windwalker rogue that was giving them a lot of trouble. And yeah, it looked pretty good. Chanimal is gonna have a field day on this Warlock, just free casting.
It's gonna be interesting. I feel like Mage Lock is actually kind of underrated right now. In this particular patch, I feel like both Frost Mage and Demonology Warlocks are pretty good in these matchups. You know, a lot of Warlocks they've kind of written off Warlocks in general, like Affliction. Unfortunately, it does a lot of damage, but you can kind of deal with UA right now by just dispelling it with the higher HP pools. Destro Warlocks lost their tier. I feel like the overall best back is going to be that Demonology, and it pairs really nicely with the Frost Mage. And I think an Evoker in particular, kind of backing it up, which isn't something you typically see. Like a lot of the time when you're running Mage Lock, it's going to be with a Druid.
Prair's going to a lot of haste. You should play a lot of haste when you're playing Cloring.
Although I do think the Evoker is probably the best. Like, because you do have.
I'll look at it together. Let's review
you
it.
have good control of the match.
If you're playing, I imagine he was Cloring then, and I think Cloring is excellent to Mage.
A lot of extra damage. It's almost like 3D.
Let me have a look at his gear real quick. So he is playing. No, he's playing not Cloring.
To really get aggressive.
He's Plaguebringer. He's the double ring build with 4-piece. He's playing low reverse, but he has a warrior to help him out.
Susceptible to just swaps. Similar to Druids,
he's not. Whoa, he's really low verse. What? A Death Knight's tankier than I expected, or what?
These fast swaps every now and
he's
then,
playing.
But the big pressure here. Really
he's playing quite a strange gear.
The Frost Mage just locking them down.
I don't know how I feel about him playing what looks like 30 or lower percent verse
here at Chibaku, and I am not surprised.
I don't agree with that gear at all. But
up to be
I don't know if you should drop. I think
really interesting one, and I think that's just putting it lightly.
We'll see. If Chibaku Tensei wins this, they steal the swing matches, which is going to be ever important. So, really, really important that Echo kind of stays on tempo. They win this one with their Wizard Cleave setup. I'm curious to see it. We haven't seen a lot of Mage Lock success, and but if there's anyone that's going to be able to pull it off, it will be Chanimal and Raikou teamed up here for Echo, and I think this is I like this pick a lot.
I like it too, and the thing is, whoever wins this, not just this map, but this series, is not just stealing the swing match in this case, but is also stealing one of the top spots, is going to advance further in the standings ahead of the other team, because as we already talked about,
I mean, it works for him.
Literally have all 4 top teams in the lower bracket right now.
I think he's just playing a high damage, like a high damage build. This is the build that I would generally play, but not necessarily into Arcane Mage. I thought he was playing Cloring because I thought it sort of looked like his animation was that. But very low. We're playing Sim here.
Can they do, especially with
I don't think TSG sounds crazy into this.
See, Frost Mage is quite strong right now. It provides a lot of
burst. But Croto is very low verse.
He's going to have to be on point with that. Channel's going to portal away, but the Rare Frost might just end the game immediately. Croto goes down to 10% health. Gateway gets dropped down there by Chanimal, but they are just completely swarming him. Raikou manages to find a full polymorph on Fuston, but he gets feared up. So he's got no trinket. He's stuck in the intimidating shout. Mercy doing a great job controlling up the Wizards, and Chanimal is under way more pressure than I originally thought. They need to figure out a way to create some space for him, but Mercy and Crota right now are just completely unrelenting.
Yeah, they're trying to catch up, they're trying to stay on target, and they find Chanimal, ports away behind the pillars, trying to kite it out, and in the meantime, Raikou is just gonna pelter them with snowballs. It's almost like a high school like a big break fight, you know? But with a little bit more ice shots in there than allowed in schools. Anyway, Croto is suffering in that frozen orb, a little bit of blizzard, a little bit of winter weather. We could use some cold in this heat wave we have in Europe at the moment.
Maybe doing like a 10%, 10% DR kind of build, which I have not tried.
Much, and they're telling Chanimal
I guess I could.
Stormbolt coming in, and he ports away across the map. Mercy immediately on his heels. Lontar gets yoinked out of the rescue, but Chanimal gets just yeeted across the map like a baseball. In the meantime, Croto taking so much damage with Raikou.
This is definitely a war game type thing, though.
Yeah, Chanimal is putting on a master class right now for kiting and survivability on a Warlock. Probably the best defensive Warlock in the entire game, so He relays his portal, manages to create some distance, portals away, makes a new gateway. I'm pretty sure he's playing the short cooldown on that gateway as well. So when he needs it, he can use it to escape. Proto is getting absolutely blasted here by Raikou free casting. Icy Veins rotating up in just 5 seconds, and that is a horrifying moment. The second Icy Veins of a Frost Mage, if he can just land those consistent Frost Bolts, it ends up adding a huge amount of damage. And there it is. Death Coil comes in. You can see Raikou loading up his damage right now with Frostbolt after Frostbolt after Frostbolt. These flurry combos are going to start really hurting Croto.
Yeah, it's going to be painful. 20 seconds on AMS and another 30 until the Ray of Frost is going to be back up. That's one of Echo's, I think, one of their bigger kill windows, trying to set that up and do a lot of damage with it. And if they can get Kroto's defensives until then, that would be absolutely massive. Pick an S from Houston, only bumping Kroto back up to half, and he's trying to kite away. Could be Death striking some Warlock pets here, but first it's Mercy, who is under pressure like crazy. Houston around the corner needs to get some heals in. It's getting dire for Chibaku here in this moment as Lontar gets gripped in and blinded. Not really the cross CC setup that they were looking for, but Chibaku finds Chanimal. Once again, the rescue not quite coming through. Lontar with good heals though on this dragon, and overall Kroto is dying enough to bring in the Iceborne Fortitude. There's the Ray of Frost, immediately kicked. Beautiful reactions here by Kroto.
Oh, the Spirit Link drops. It doesn't do anything. It gets sniped off immediately, and unfortunately, Kroto's health is going nowhere but down. Lontar just throwing in Living Flame. Living Flame disintegrates. Frostbolt's coming in. Kroto holding on.
It looks pretty bad.
The pillar right now. Lontar moving over. Wants to continue.
Mages are OP, obviously, and so are Warriors.
Gets polymorphed in the Blizzard, and this finally gets
I don't think TSG specifically does a whole bunch of
safety of that pillar. Good repositioning there.
I don't know if they have, I don't know. I guess they doesn't have the option of playing other stuff. Like DHDK sounds better, but like, what's the Warrior achieving?
Blizzard, you're sitting in Frozen Orb. You're getting cleaved down. Lontar throws in a full Fire Breath. That's going to be removing all those heal.
I guess they can stay on a lock, kind of.
Pressure is just so heavily in favor of Echo.
Look at the Priz just popping off.
Echo sinking their icy fangs into the legs of Chibaku. They really want that win. They want to go up on match point and want to advance in the lower bracket, but so far they're not quite there yet. Mana-wise, Lontar on a solid advantage, sitting on 50%, while
it's kind of a sick port spot. Look at that. It's just a little bit off the pillar, but it's enough that they can continually play away from pillars. Like, that's actually like very. That's not a meta port position.
And
you know what I mean?
From both sides, more and more as the game goes on.
Look at how much value you got from that port. Kroto have 20% burst. He's playing really low burst, but
nice.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. He's probably experimented more than I have.
Both, Chanimal and Lontar into the middle.
It's not what I would play, but I haven't tested a specific build to know.
Stun is insane, and Echo just keeps
personally, I'm preferable to not as much haste as he's playing, but he's playing a lot of haste.
Once again, going down. These Fire Breaths just putting Fusion so far behind. He's got the Nature Swiftness. He needs to get there. Channel ports away. Close call on Mercy once again.
The issue we've got here is they can't. The Warrior can't sit on the Mage.
He's playing the
they can both sit on Cham, but look at this. Rescue and.
Putting Houston further and further behind.
I never have a Warrior teammate, exactly. So I can't judge. I'm not judging his build. I haven't played it.
I think that's the Enrage timer. I think once that Veins comes out, if they can even
even
make
that shell. Look at that shell, by the way. That shell actually held.
Magic shell. He's playing Dark Simulacrum, so looking for some of those stolen spells. He's managed to land a few polymorphs and fears, getting out some crowd control, but nothing too significant at this point. And once again, you have Channel just across the entire map. You have Mercy, Houston, and Kroto pinned down at the pillar. And if you're playing a Wizard Cleave, this is your favorite moment in the match. Like, this is when you just are so excited.
I feel bad looking at this.
They're just dying behind a pillar. They can't get any pressure. You're just pelting them with spells, and they feel the pressure. Like, for that, like, if you're Chibaku Tensei, what do?
The way I think about this is,
realize you're out of mana.
Echo could have ran this the first game, and they didn't. This would beat the Warrior Windwalker team too. What are they afraid of?
It's a lose-lose scenario very much. You need to find a good setup, maybe a lucky grip, maybe a cross C on the healer with a good go. But first and foremost, you need the
once they're pinned,
more and more, so
they can't deal with
and empty Lontar's mana reserves, which is super hard to do.
You can't do that. Nice lead fair though.
At this point.
They're on Chan. Where's Chan's port? Chan's port. He's on his port here.
Right now,
they can do some
he's
stuff.
Just getting pressured out by Lontar. Beautiful beautiful offensive play here by Echo's healer, just really putting the pressure in, and Troto dropping lower and lower, might just go down here. Mercy.
I mean,
pumping
honestly,
in, the
he's
dive
pulled
by the
off
sword,
this
gets
verse
stunned
pretty
up
well.
after it.
He is top
Really
damage right now, I
locked it
believe.
down by Chanimal, and Echo is just
I
blasting
think
away.
Croto's still
with
top
Raikou
dam, but we'll
first
see.
and foremost answering the age-old
Depends on from
question.
which point of view we're looking
What
at.
will the dinosaurs, the Ice Age.
Is that
That looks like a pretty miserable matchup.
I think it is, yeah. That's a Batman Forever quote.
Yeah, it feels like BFA for sure.
Not many people.
Chan's kiting is exceptional, though.
Yeah, Echo pulling
That'll
off
grab.
some
That
wins,
did.
bringing in their wizard cleave here. So Raikou, he's gonna be flexing on the.
That
mage.
did look
He's
rough.
gonna
Echo
be
wins
mage
that
for
one.
game number
Predictions
one.
going out for this
Gets a
last one.
win, loses game number 2, has to make an
Potentially last one.
adaptation. They do
Maybe
bring in
not
Frost
last
Mage
one.
for game number 3, and it looks really solid. My question is,
I wanna
what
see damage.
is Echo going to do now? I think, like I said, I think this is just one of those games where the blind pick kind of won the series, because I do think Chibaku Tensei, they have
Right,
answers
but
for this
we're not
composition.
worried. I mean, we can't.
Yeah. But they're just gonna have
If the lock
in
doesn't
the
kite
game 5, they're gonna
exceptionally
have
well,
to
then
play
yeah.
the
I mean,
disadvantage,
maybe
win somehow.
at a low rate. Actually, no.
Well,
At a low
that's
rating, that
gonna
wouldn't be
be
the case
the
necessarily. Just with that particular matchup they've got.
It's gonna be.
That's a really good matchup of, like, a low-level melee cleave would just die, to be honest. A low-level melee cleave would get one shot by this kind of comp. The reason why this game played out so long unders is because they ran and disengaged so often. Like, if they didn't make choices to, like, intentionally, like, just do a lot less damage, they would have got annihilated much earlier. The reason why the game prolonged as long as it is because the DH or the DK and Warrior were disengaging so often and running behind a pillar. That wouldn't happen at low ratings, and at low ratings they would just die in the first when they port.
Yeah, saving the wizard comp.
So
Without
at
needing
lower
Chibaku
ratings,
to
that's actually a
practice
worse
for
matchup for
another
DHDK or for DK Warrior.
Swing match.
But
Chibaku
we've got a
blocking
small
the
map.
Valorant
They may
series.
lock the
I would
same
assume we're
thing. I
getting
don't know.
another melee cleave here.
I don't know what their matchup is for that matchup.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what Echo locks in. I think more than likely that's what they want to set up, but it
I'm
just
curious if he
depends.
played the same
Echo,
gear
if
again.
they run
He tanked
RP,
a very
they're gonna
long
be better than
time,
DK
which is
Warrior.
super
If they decide to
impressive.
go with the wizard cleave, then
I don't even have it
almost
just then.
100% guarantee you we're going to be seeing something like
Like that was.
Moonkin. Demon
Is he
Hunter,
playing the same
something
kind of
like that.
verse?
Jibaku Tensei on the small map, that would do really well into it. I just think Echo has to basically
Yeah,
pick
he's
their
he's
poison
playing
before the point. Yeah,
incredibly
no matter what
low
they play,
verse.
they're going to be getting counter comped. But what is going to be the best option? Like what
With
could they
Leech
maybe
Enchant.
pull off an upset with? That's a difficult spot for Echo right now.
I don't know.
Okay, what's the wildest comp we could
The
see
fuck
here
stats are we
that
trying to go for?
has minimal chances of winning, but can win.
Huh.
Assassination, fire RMP.
Wait.
Okay, that's it. That's a very specific one. I like that.
Lariat. Okay. I don't know.
It's a composition. It's
I
gaining a
certainly
little bit
haven't
of
tried this
popularity.
gear.
You play the flame path.
I do
you
like.
kinda
I mean,
AoE
he's
everyone
forcing
down.
Lariat to proc verse.
On the Dalaran sewers, you could
By
try
the
to
way.
turn the map on its
It
head.
procs the
Will we see
second
that?
gem you have, so his
Probably
Lariat
not,
is
but it
proccing
would be fun to see.
versatility.
I like seeing it.
It
So,
definitely would be fun. Oh,
RMP.
same. But we're going back to the RMP. Outlaw Arcane, not the big surprise. Chanimal gets
Kind
to
of a weird
warm the bench
one.
a little bit more. Can't let that get cold. And on the other
It
side,
doesn't proc
well,
both.
what does Chibaku do?
It procs
They run
it procs
it back
its specific
with
part of the
TSG,
gem.
And well, we in this good old rock paper scissors scenario again, I guess. And Chibaku now for
I don't know.
me favored to.
He's
top the series.
not playing. He wouldn't be 30
It's
haste, would he?
possibility. There was close calls though. Like
Oh, he's haste gemmed. Haste. Yeah, he could be. He could be towards 30. He's probably trying to. He's trying to like waste as little stats as he can. So I think he's not pushing mastery too far. He's probably at the 10% mark for all 3 stats, if I had to guess. I don't think he's at 10% for verse though.
I think even let me double check here for hook point what he was playing.
I'll mess with this gear
Yeah, so he's
and
playing,
see, but I don't.
Blink, he was playing Master Shepherd and Temporal Shield. I think something like Ring of Fire would be better than Ethereal Blink. Like
I don't know how I feel about it.
Getting a little bit of value, but it's really difficult to get away. I wonder if they just need more damage.
I think verse is so good.
Help a little bit,
Even
but
as a damage stat, it's not bad.
just
But
I'm always impressed with the depth of mages kits in terms of how much you can adapt to specific scenarios, right? You have a bunch of defensive talents you can bring.
if they go back to
More
RMP,
offensive and
that's the thing, right? There's war game history here between these two teams, Chrome. So the question is, what were they losing to in war games when they're playing?
Very fascinating to
My
see
guess
these
is
top
that they
players
play
able
like
to
lock
take these classes
DH or
to
something.
another level. And especially
and they
someone
win.
like Raikou, right? who has been around.
I imagine it's something to do with.
forever. I just want to say.
Or
I would put him
no.
up on the list. where
Shabaku's
some
got
of the
a.
most legendary
Okay,
names
I know what it
are
is.
just
I know what it is.
confusing him.
It's they're afraid of Moonkin DH.
You're definitely right.
That's what they're afraid
I
of.
don't even think that. He would
Dude,
definitely
he did
be
the
a
full month
baseball
resale, buddy.
fan. There's no doubt about that whatsoever.
So
Definitely
Shabaku would run Moonkin DH into
for a really
into
long
Echo
time.
and win against
I think all the
their
way from,
wizards.
like, original
So they're
Snap,
afraid of that.
even original TBC. Like, yeah, he's definitely a gamer.
That's not a bad build. Again, I'm not being critical of this build. I'm just trying to understand what his targets are. There's nothing wrong with this build, is there? No. It's a pretty standard build, right?
These guys have
How can you
not
play
necessarily come
Lavosa?
out of nowhere, but they're
So
not highly decorated.
I love his choice to play Attenuation, by the way.
They're not
A lot.
Undisputed championship team like Echo.
Attenuation with the Shaman's a great choice.
Remember, like 1 or 2 years ago, just desperate.
I'm under the impression that he's got it's his targets. He may think they're tanky. DK's may be tankier than he thinks.
Coming
Or than I
so
think.
far from there,
You know?
now re-rolling to healer here in 2024. They're one of the best teams in EU. It's just a beautiful story and makes me cheer for them so much more. But first, of course, they need to even out the series.
If you want to know for sure, Chrome, it's because the Prez gets rebeamed.
Arcane Surge being cast out. Raikou has a lot of damage. Croto's just gonna make the trade. Standard.
So this could be a
Anytime you
game
see the
5 kind of
Arcane
series.
Surge, it's an anti-magic zone. You're planting your feet. You're not
But
moving.
yeah, no, Croto's build's not
and you're gonna
presumably
take
not bad.
all of
I
the
haven't
damage
tested
fully
super
absorbed, but
Loverse.
Even
to be
with
honest.
the anti-magic zone, he's still just outright dead. Strangulate on Lone Star at the same time, though. Raikou is getting absolutely obliterated. Taking a lot of cleave damage from that Arcane Mage. You need to be very careful if they do get faked.
I'm not convinced that Warrior is the play here.
Cognition, and that's going to be his moment to really cast, the Arcane Missiles, Blast, Polymorphs, and Arcane Surge if he has that available.
It is looking
Can't loan to go on Shaman.
Raikou doing a good job. Wow,
He can, but does the I do kind of feel like the rescues are pretty insane and the throughput from a Prez and the damage from Prez as well. It's all part of it.
Thrown out, Lonta pumping heals, and
They also can kill the Asham.
Lonta also already
TSG could run the Asham down potentially. It's hard to run down the Prez. Prez is tanky, good at pre-positioning, Harbor Freedom.
And that could get spicy quickly. Maybe an opportunity for Jibaku to grab the ice block from Raikou if they can stay alive. Fusion
Again, these matchups are highly evolved from all games. There are potentially 10, 15, 20 games of these matchups that we haven't seen.
Raikou caught into some stuns. Nice blast wave there.
That's one of the things you got to keep in mind when it comes to like people are confused by like, oh, why would they play that comp into this comp? And there's all these things going into it.
Raikou kind of just really taking a chance there.
Raikou not the kind of mage to that. Yeah, he's gonna block if he's in trouble. He knew he was gonna die there.
Ice block that Mercy and Croto can't.
Croto is doing fucked up damn on this map though. Keep in mind he has pets that are being cleaved by Alrogue and being cleaved by Arcane Mage.
They have a sharpened blade
So
out of the
damage-wise, he is doing unbelievable damage to this.
Once again, Croto's going to get knocked off the side, unfortunately, and I don't really like this map as the melee DPS. You are so susceptible to being knocked off by these blast waves. Raikou does manage to fake an interrupt. He gets the Arcane Surge and a full Polymorph. That is some massive value from that buff.
Yeah, it's looking great. It's looking really great as the AMS comes out. Croto suffering, Mercy just the same. Has Dive the sword available, and Raikou just kiting away. Looking to get those
He seems durable.
barrages in slowly but surely, but
He does get 3% more health. I mean, the Warrior seems less tanky, and the Warrior stacking burst much more.
Yes, should be fine. Mercy pops die by the sword.
By the way, to RMP when they don't have Demon Frost. They're afraid of Moonkin Rogue. Or sorry, Moonkin DH. Moonkin DH is what they played in the upper bracket games they lost. My guess is there's Moonkin DH. Moonkin DH would also redeem the Prez. So that's what they're afraid of. They just feel like it's a free loss if they blind the same thing again.
Trying to get away. Arcane Orbs thrown out for a little bit of power, for a little bit more damage, and Mercy leaping in, sword raised high. He's looking for some damage, and they are finding it, at least in the moment. Raikou with another blink finds the polymorph and is trying to pressure more and more as Croto retreats behind the
Doesn't look
boxes.
great.
Chibaku looking to recuperate for just a second, but Waz is not going to let them. He's getting punished for it. This is looking rough. Lonta going in for the triple fear.
It does look
but the
kinda
Tremor
rough.
Totem was already down. Waz on 20% might get swapped to. It's going to be really dangerous here for Echo.
That's
as
he's
Lonta is
playing.
just
He's
spamming
playing
those,
unhinged, by the way.
heals.
These
the
are big.
flash shields coming through. Echo trying to
Bladestorm
run
hurts.
away. Waz
Oh,
with
the grip on the
hook
fly.
out, and Lonta gets gripped out of the Ascension. He's getting swapped too. Massive opportunity here.
That was
for
kind of sick.
Chibaku,
It was kind of
but they
random
can't
too.
find the damage, Ven.
Fair, double
And
fair,
intimidating shout
triple
comes in
fair.
as Lontar is just getting absolutely pummeled. He's going to be trading out the Guardian Spirit, and that will likely be enough for him to survive. He needs to
I mean, RMP can win this
pillar.
matchup, but I
Looks
assume
like
that
he
they
will.
guaranteed
actually give
lose
Raikkonen just a
to
moment
DH
breathe in
Moonkin
the match, but
because they get
a
root
little bit
beamed.
of a panic situation.
pretty
here
miserable.
For Echo, the Guardian Spirit, Spirit of the Redeemer is going to be traded out by Lonestar, putting him in Angel form, allowing him to just throw in a ton of healing, including a Master Spell. But
Even
right
if he plays
now,
Outward,
Echo has absolutely
again,
no
there's war game
pressure.
history here, right?
Frodo,
We
though, with
haven't
no
seen the war games.
anti-magic shell,
I can only guess
might
they're
have to
afraid of
trade out the
DH
anti-magic
Moonkin
zone,
though.
likely going to want to hold it for that arcane.
What if it's
surge,
no
making
healer?
standard trade. At the same
Again,
time, though,
war game
we're
history
seeing Frodo
probably
there
is
getting
the
really
thing.
comfortable going after
They must feel
Lonestar,
like it's not a great
trying to take
matchup
down the priest.
when they have the
I wonder
ability to
if they're
play
going to be able to, or
DH
if they
Moonkin.
really need to
Totally
focus
different
their
matchup
attention
to
on
what we saw
Raikkonen
just
once
then.
again, 'cause he's able to
They
get
wouldn't
out
play
so
T.
much
I mean,
damage in
TSG in the
this
matchup's
situation.
obviously awful.
Yeah, he's getting out some really good damage, but it's the same story as on Hook Point. The first few minutes, Echo in the driver's seat. Now that dampening has started to kick in and the cooldowns are gone.
It's that second rotation. We've still got Trinket Link.
The
We're
pressure
not.
is mounting. Chibaku
It's a nice
gaining
shell.
momentum with
I
every
mean-
passing second, and slowly but surely Echo starts to crumble. Yes, Lontar has the APOF tossed in, GS rotating back up, but still, the pressure is not going to stop anytime soon. Houston has Spirit Link back after throwing that out earlier in the match, and for the moment, Chibaku really looking into comfortable
with 5 ball
spot.
gifted subs, 15
has to
subs today.
trinket
We're
this Strangulate just to stay
74
alive,
subs in
trying
the
to
day
get
as well.
polymorphs out
Thank you so
and
much,
finds
buddy.
Houston, but Kroto IBFs in response and
What
should
an
be
actual
fine for the
legend, man.
moment as
Today's been an
Waz
awesome
gets
day.
chopped up once again. A little bit too close to the blender there.
Raikou should be playing, yeah,
hot pursuit, continuing this pressure
ability stuff,
onto the mage.
basically.
Windshear here onto Lonestar. It's really rotting down the entire team, but at the same time, Kroto is in danger. He's got the anti-magic cell if he needs it. Beautiful
How's it going? It's going
ground
awesome.
control coming in for Raikou. Kroto,
Thank you so
be
much,
careful.
Tiffany. That's the
Falls
link.
in that barrage.
We're now
Execute
actually
range,
we're at the
still
end game
not
point in this
creating a
game.
shell. To allow Houston to
Houston
trade out the
will not
Spirit
rotate
Link
again.
totem,
Kroto
but
could
now
die now.
anyways, and I feel
Execute
like
range is a
this point,
dangerous place to
dampening
be. They're
the
running.
amount of pressure Echo has, Kroto might just
Off stun,
outright
trinkets
die.
instantly
Houston
blinds the
is able to
trinket
get
right
out of
away.
the
Double
fear,
blind
but can he
instantly.
get the heals? Kroto's
Double
on the center.
blind
Raikou, there's no
immediately.
damage incoming. Finally, the Riptides are gonna be
Raikou
landing,
actually
but
stuck
Raikou
in the blender
sneaks
here
in,
though,
getting
but
as
Kroto might
aggressive
just
as
die.
possible here. Barrage after
I don't know
barrage,
how
Arcane
long
Missiles
the
comes
defensive
in.
fair. 15
Houston
seconds.
gets gouged, and I think Chibaku Tensei may have ran out of time, and Echo was looking
Maybe.
to eliminate them.
Honestly,
right here,
Raiku's gonna
right
come
now
back here,
on Dalaran
and there's
Sewers.
defensive fair coming. They win with that defensive. They can win with that defensive fair on Waz
Pummeled
potentially.
by Raikou and that Arcane Mage.
Tide Totem comes in.
Waz is
the target now.
kind of
He's a
set
bit
up
far
here. He's got
forward, but
nothing.
Of course, you can see Raikou on the outside just going in. Lontar offensive for a double, triple fear is really hammering it home right now.
All right,
as
fair's
Waz
available.
tries to stay out of danger as much as possible because they are down but not out yet, and Mercy is looking to
Oh,
make
the grip back
something
on the life
happen
grip.
here. Oh,
Kroto
the
playing
grip
out of his
back
fucking
in
mind.
is
That's haste, by the way.
beautiful. Waz
Haste is wild.
getting
Nice step on that,
drained
though,
right now.
to kite it.
They're swapping on to Raikou once again. Houston doing a great job at recovering the HP bars here. Kroto has the AMZ back available. Might need to pop it in immediately. Yeah, there it is. Gets cheap shotted up on the down low here. Nice line of sight, but he's
That's
getting
it.
executed. It's so
He
over,
did
man.
die.
Echo, take this serious and send Chibaku to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, things are looking good here for Echo. A very convincing 3-1 victory over Chibaku Tensei. There was some close games, so definitely a big shout out to Chibaku, but ultimately Echo wins, and it didn't go back and forth all the way to a game 5. They actually won on Chibaku Tensei's map pick and their composition pick with their Arcane Rogue Mage Priest. And that's got to be a good confidence booster here for Echo, as they've had a great performance here today.
Absolutely. Wonderful, wonderful thing.
That's the
especially
3-1.
Considering the open bracket went.
Nah, Kroto played that really
I don't
well.
wanna
I mean, Kroto had
say
some insane plays
horrible
there.
for them on RMP, but they definitely were caught off guard a little bit by the burst damage, for example, Windwalker Rogue can bring in general threat of the melee cleave. So,
What can they do?
Raikou
I mean,
recover
I'm
from
not
that
personally a
little
huge
off
fan
day,
of
I'm just gonna
TSG in
call it,
particular, but
and
it's a triple main
really
comp
step
for them.
up
I
to
think
the
Mercy's the
plate
kind of a
on
main
Tournament
warrior,
Day,
Kroto's a main
just
DK, and
proves
Houston.
just how good
Houston's
and how
technically a main
experienced of
DH, but when he's not playing a DH and he's playing a healer, he's
no
the main
problem for
shaman.
Raikou. showing the
so
younger kids how it's done. And
Crota
hey,
again did a
looking
lot of
good.
damage. I would say that
Really
maybe
fun
Was got a little
series
more
on
value.
both
They played
that
it
one.
phenomenally
Saw
though.
a pretty good showcase of
DK2
one of the
shit.
classes today.
I don't
Lots of
actually think
healers,
DK
lots
looked
of
bad though,
different DPS.
believe it or not.
Yeah,
I
it
was
a fun day.
I was a fan.
Yeah, honestly, makes me excited for the rest of the season because I'm
But-
pretty sure it's just going to continue to develop as the players find out what's good.
I mean,
what's
even
not, and
they're both
how
playing
to
it like at a
counter the cogs,
ridiculously high
because
level.
I think what we just saw with this series is very much a taste of how this season is going to go. There's going to be countercoms to everything we've seen, basically.
Man, look, okay. He is playing
really
the
think
most
whoever
paper-verse I have
finds the
ever
most
seen. Holy fuck. Bro, what the fuck? Look at this shit. They are not supposed to get hit by between the eyes for 155k, man. Did he take gear off? I mean, again, I imagine he just kind of feels like the warrior provides a bit of support to him, that he can get away with that relative to other things. But between the eyes should go for like 120 tops, I feel. So I do kind of think. I mean, he used double death strike to respond to that. The second one has no window. But no, he actually had 3 death strikes to respond to 2 between the eyes, and he actually did cover the 2 between the eyes. But even the smite's 87,000. I don't know. I think that's probably a little bit light for my I think it's a little bit too light. But they probably have wargame history, and they probably feel like if he plays high verse, then his warrior just dies instantly. Very interesting games regardless. Chess is 180k. Again, the Death Knight's playing the lowest verse I've seen any Death Knight play. Even they're basically playing with like last season's verse, or a little lower than that, which is, you know, it's sketch for sure. You can see how we're playing with both rings, but we're actually going deep into I don't know. Like I'm not criticizing. Like 4 pieces. It's really just 4 piece. But he's playing a whole bunch of PV gear that is like heavily weighted towards low verse. Like 2 piece. Wait, 1. I don't know. I mean, I've got a different interpretation of how I would gear, but he's playing with the warrior, so he knows more than I do on that one, right? He's weighted more heavily toward. With that kind of haste, you can do some really fun stuff. That much haste without clearing. So most of your damage scales incredibly well with haste. Like a lot of your damage scales incredibly well with haste. The rings are, I mean, the rings are both good. It's high level ring, right? You get some extra stam by playing with filial duty, but the absorb itself is quite weak. I don't know. Look, I'll try this build just to know, right? But yeah, Death Knights, if you look at their damage breakdown, they have incredibly good skill with haste. He's not stacking haste, he's still stacking. He's still going heavily towards mastery. He's got a few bits of haste gear. He's got a specific target he's going for. I'm not sure what that target is. I'd have to look at the actual gear itself to see what the DRs look like. My guess is he's aiming for around the 10% DR mark for all 3 stats, which is actually doable this season, which is kind of insane. I imagine he's aiming for 10% DR on mastery, 10% DR on haste, and 10% DR on verse at the same time. So like around, just randomly guessing, like 70% mastery. I would say like he's going for like 70% mastery, like 30% haste, and like 30% verse, something like that, which sounds fun. I just don't know if you live super easily with it. and you have very low wastage on your stats. This type of build, especially as human, would be interesting with the 10% with the extra 2% stats, I think. But yeah, worth looking at, most definitely. I wanted to figure out. Oh, I don't know what I wanted to do. Master handicap, yeah. I mean, haste scales your globals by about as much. They do, like, I imagine it's pretty amazing what you can do. Like if you play, especially with grips, blinds, asphyxiates all become way less taxing when you're playing, and chains even become way less taxing when you're playing with high haste. You can do them and not feel bad about it. So I do think that is a very good thing. So what I want to do, my game's lagging a little bit. I don't know if it's, I've tried. I mean, I've liked high verse the last 2 seasons. When I played, I got to rank 1 last season with the team. We played really high verse to be tanky, to feel like we could be durable. And I don't think it has that big of an impact on your damage. But yeah, there's lots of different stat combinations to try. I think it's really interesting and refreshing to see something different to my interpretation of it. And I'll try that and see how I feel about it. My interpretation is not the same as that. No, 30% haste is really fun. Have you tried the different builds out, Zora? It's not bad. It's not as, like, the only problem with the only reason I don't like the high haste builds as much, if I'm sacrificing mastery for it, is that it feels like if I get controlled too much, your damage is all very, very dependent on your globals. So basically, like, there are certain globals that don't scale with haste. One of them is APOC. One of them is Doomburst, or Doomburst actually does scale because you get more of them. APOC doesn't have any scaling whatsoever, and nor does Virulent with the build that we're playing. So your dots don't scale with haste, nor does your APOC. So there's, yeah. Try everything. I mean, you should find that high haste and high mastery builds have like a best and worst matchup into it. Like into cleave, I like high haste a lot. But into an arcane mage, except for being able to grip like casts like he did, he had some really, really good grips there. I've preferred more mastery, but there's also defensive benefit to haste. That's the other thing. Like, you know, when you're thinking of those types of builds, you're like, okay, mastery doesn't scale your death strikes at all, but it does scale your, you know, if you're playing haste, it does scale your death strikes because you're getting more earning power, which feeds into the ability to death strike more easily. And also you can, you know, your global's smaller, so you're able to get that off while doing damage. So it's not that simple. But Verse also has the same kind of benefit the other way, right? Like it gives you healing and it also gives you damage. So it's like tough. Yeah, we're not talking about 20% haste here though. The difference in the subtlety in the builds is like you're basically assigning about 10% worth of haste value into Verse generally. It's about, we're looking at 10% probably in his case. But again, it's worth trying. I mean, I'll test it out. There's no reason at all not to. Just to experience everything. So I need to do the heroic raid. Now the problem with doing the heroic raid, I should be able to flight stone upgrade anything that I want on this character. So let's see what level I can get myself to and see if I can get into some groups. I think I have roughly infinity flight stones. think I even have some Drakes to spare because I'm pretty sure this thing requires only the heroic tokens now. So I need a heroic grade and I need to upgrade. Or just 2 clicks a weapon. Oh, 3 clicks a weapon. 486. Confused. What do I have that's lower? So I have infinite flight zones because I have these. So I can effortlessly upgrade anything when I want. I have a second ring here. I'm doing it to get into a heroic grade. I'm gonna try and plug heroic grades to upgrade this ring. My goal is to get to, like, the progression on this character at this point is basically in upgrading this ring. And to upgrade this ring, the most efficient way to do it is to do world quests to get the Drake. You do world quests to get the Drake insignias, whatever the Drake Flightstone thingies, crests, Drake crests. And then to get the worm crests, what you should do is do heroic grade because it's 10 per boss. It's way more efficient than Mythic Plus. And then to do the last part, you should do 6 Mythic Pluses. But it's just kind of the sequence you do, and it's more efficient to the raid because the raid is technically a lot easier. So I'm looking to do. I have a little bit of time today, like an hour. I don't know if there actually is a heroic grade going. Volt's the wrong one, actually. Aberrus heroic. Let's see if there's any fresh ones we can try and jump into. Upgrade worm to Drake. Nah, you get 45 worm. You get 45 Drake crests from doing the weekly event and a spark. This thing, the guy, this NPC right here, takes you like 20 minutes to do all 3 things, and it's like literally 50 of them. Yeah, you should definitely do that. In my opinion. Again, you can do whatever you want, but that's what I found to be easiest. Liquid 99 lead. Is this guy actually from Liquid? Boomy Dodge, technically. He's on Illidan. He might be. Maybe it's like Max or an ult or something. He is? Maybe he'll invite me then. He is from Liquid, yeah. Yeah. Wait, 6 ESTs now. I mean, I'm not going to try and sneak in. But yeah, we want to upgrade this thing. This ring's very, very good. It's my level. My level on this character is not super good because I bought weapons. Yeah, I didn't know the world event stuff until recently, but yeah, it definitely seems really, really fast. Do that part. I guess you don't have to do 6 with the plus either. It's like 5, right? My influence? I don't think I have any influence. We're not part of the same thing. I'm not special when it comes to these kinds of things. I should have to work for it. I put myself in a position where I think my gear is sufficient enough to go into those types of runs. I don't think my level's too low for them. Maybe it's a little bit low this week. But yeah, I need to do a couple of upgrade things. I should upgrade my other DK's legendary at some point as well, but I do think having I think having DH Rogue and DK Rogue is actually good value. We've seen that, right? Winoka? Nah, it was played today. I think Winoka won in the end. Yeah, the Winoka team won 2 games today. Yeah, I agree, Happy, but I got into groups last week. I wonder if I should also just tank. I haven't tanked in a long... I don't think I've tanked binds in a long time, but obviously they're insane in Mythic Plus, so... I know some Mythic Plus now. Trying to run some of the door again. I actually care about the specific bosses. All I actually care about is just getting some flight stones. Yeah, it's interesting. Virtually none of the comps from last season that were really powerful succeeded today. That's weird, right? I was quite surprised by that. Like we saw a virtually entirely new meta. A couple. I mean, yeah, there was they just finished. Who streamed it? It was on the Warcraft channel. It was the EU games today. How's Armswary look for threes? Hard to say. Armswary is a bit limited by the fact that Moonkins exist and that mages exist. I think Armswary in a world where you don't have either of those things to fight, which by the way are the most like popular things in AWC. In a world where those things aren't around, I think Warrior actually is quite powerful. So it's not so much like their kit not being good, but they aren't disruptive enough to be. Even when you look at like some of the plays that Mosi was making today were incredibly good, and unfortunately, you know, they don't have as much impact as just having more interrupts or more disruption into like say a DH or into a Moonkin rather. I mean, yeah. I'm guessing that DH Moonkin, I'm guessing just DH into Rogue Mage is too much of a liability. Especially because you're against like a Holy Priest. Yeah, EU's games were today. They just finished like 20 minutes ago. NA's ones are tomorrow. Starting at like 11 a.m. my time, which is like what? Oh, we're in. Okay. That's all I care about. Probably do this for the rest of today, and then I'm gonna head off and be back. I'm not sure what my schedule is today, actually. And I apologize for that. I don't completely know what we're planning to do for stuff tonight. I don't know what rune I want. What stats do you on PvE as a DH? I imagine is it mastery still? Kind of feel like it could be crit. If we have war games, it'll be off stream. Yeah, I'll grab this. It doesn't actually matter. And then it's like elemental potion. Okay. It's off stream if we're doing. I mean, it actually could just be off stream. We did it last night. It's different for sure because I feel like when you're streaming normal games, you don't analyze as hard, especially between games. A little bit, we do a little bit, but it's definitely very helpful. So I'm just gonna grab a build for each thing. So let's go to Warcraft logs, and we'll go to the first boss and here. Which is all right. Wait. Presumably it's updated with this week's stuff. Okay, we're already at the boss. So I'm gonna go to all classes, go DH, Havoc, and then we'll just go by the build that everyone uses. Summary. Sky. Summary. Export. Now it's going to go new loadout. Oh wait. Import that. DHPV1. Looks like it's the same rough build except I lose my files, right? 1, 2, and then I'll put my potions on my bars as well. I don't know what this is bound to. Yeah, this is the build. Oh, I could have done the icon thing too. Does anyone know? I don't think there's any real mechanics there for this one. I'm hoping. I also don't know what my opener should be.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My damage is okay. Oh. How? Where did the lasers go? It goes in the hole. These holes? Ah, okay. Got it. I just kited that for a bit. It's all good. I just read afterwards. I'm not actually sure if you can do it by by phone lock, buddy. I don't entirely know how that works. I'm sorry, man. If your account's linked, if your Twitch account's linked, it may work just fine. So I have the Rift. Wait, no, I have the thing. Oh. Oh wait, okay, we're doing this right. We're just kind of improvising just a little bit. I have a laser. Can this close too though? Oh wait, it's still on me. That kind of fucking sucks, doesn't it? No, man, not again. I got mine. This one didn't. I'm kind of an asshole. Okay, we're figuring out the mechanics as we go. I will be honest though, they invited me and that may be what dropped. Your attacks and abilities have chance to give you crit leech. Is that good? I mean, it's 5/12 eye level. Oh, it's rare. Is that good for me, chat?
No such power, my son. Sinister forces are awakening. They sense your presence. Father. I am but an echo. I cannot stop intruders from attempting to plunder my secrets.
I don't know how good that is for me.
Heirs have arrived. We can ensure no outsider claims what is rightfully yours.
Need roll or anything like that? I'll roll on it.
You have heard many stories of this place and the role it played in my downfall. Do not let them temper your perception. These halls are your birthright, and the outsiders must not be allowed to take them from you. Secure perimeter. I will take a contingent down these halls and root out Socrates. You take the other path and see what you can find. A wise plan. I shall accompany both of you and lend what aid I can.
Well, I wasn't gonna from that point of view. I was actually looking for only an upgrade that's actually like good for my class. Big thing there is that we got some crests, and the crests are really important for upgrading our ring. That's what we really care about. Getting that thing to 515 would be really nice. Our goal is 6 heroic bosses. 6 heroic bosses completely does that section of your gearing. This boss is single target from memory too. I think you split at the start. It's been a while. I only did this like once on heroic maybe.
a strong will to ensure their obedience.
I was also a product of experimentation. One that your previous incarnation attempted to destroy.
You are of my blood. The fact you had the strength to survive.
Still on a pack to pull.
Flame and shadow, both
Hey, Ash.
powerful influential forces.
How you doing today, man?
They become something even greater. Learn to harness them together, and no force can oppose you.
Mortal pests, fuel for my inferno!
Can you give me like a quick summary of this boss fight? Don't stand in fire, take pulls to the wall, don't stand in the frontal, and soak the big circle. Do I change sides or will they just assign me? Oh, they're zerging it. They wanna stack him. Ideal stats? That is a very good question. Today, so my interpretation previously was I had a constraint of like towards 38% verse, 70 odd, 80% mastery, and then like 20% haste. That was what I was kind of targeting. The 20% DR on both mastery and verse, basically. But today, Crota played an extremely well. He played Death Knight really well, and he was playing a very different guess set. It looked like he was targeting 10% DR on all three stats, or so. Lock, buddy, thank you for the 2-month resub as well, man. You figured it out. Thank you very much, buddy. That means a lot. We're having the best day. I swear. This is like a completely weird time for me to stream, and this Sony is around. Thank you. So I don't completely know what the stats will end up being, but I'm very curious. I'll try a couple different things out. This is heroic grade. I'm trying to upgrade my ring. Aaron Kwan, how are you doing, buddy? Wait, what's going on? I'm on left.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Whoops. Oh, they are swapping. Looks like they're phasing. Right? Lost the tank. Oops. It's to the walls. Not bad.
There is no denying its strength, but it seems too dangerous to truly control.
You possess the will to master it, my son. Just imagine what you could accomplish.
Nice for the 27-month resub, Ed. Thanks for all the support, buddy. All right, so I have one upgrade to do. Two if we get one more boss. Okay, we need 60 total. And then we got to do some Mythic Plus for the remaining upgrades. Upgrading seal for the 5 damage ring. I didn't think I'd be playing like DH at all this season. I wasn't even planning to cap it. But today it actually looked good. I think DH Rogue actually looked pretty useful. Chief White with a 28-month resub as well. Today's been so awesome. We're at 79 subs today as well. Thank you to Lock for the 2-month resub, Nice the 27-month resub, Chief White the 28-month resub, Hika the 45-month resub, Def with 15 gifted subs today. Fry with 50 gifted subs today. Sunny with a gifted sub. Liam with a gifted sub as well. There's a bunch more resubs. And I'm streaming the time that I never stream. I guess I've streamed like the last time I streamed this time. Like this late, I guess. Like I only like the really long streams, I guess.
High hopes for the track team, but ultimately the venture was just another disappointment.
This boss, I don't know what the mythic mechanic or the heroic mechanic is.
Carry on my vision.
Of course, Father.
This late, I normally start my stream early. 24-hour stream for a week? I don't think so. We got tournament stuff tomorrow. I'm heading out to Aaron's having dinner in a bit as well. We're gonna go have a nice dinner, I think, before I do war games and stuff. It's a fun week. Did you sort out your thing yet, Johnny? Or what are your plans tonight? Are you still looking, or is it one of them? I assume you can't just show up to it, right? Tickets are probably crazy expensive. Oh, you're not planning to go? Fair enough. I mean, they're probably crazy expensive to get at this point. What time's it start?
Serve nicely as new test subjects.
No, so the Vegas Golden Knight games. They're in a tough spot.
I'm the apex.
Can I put this on both weapons? I can't, right? Charge on X. Debuffs on triangle. Okay. What else do I need to know? Anything else? I'm planning to do some dam. Medium dam.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I will beat you into pulp. Shattering roar. Obliterate.
I don't seem too concerned about this boss. Is this supposed to hit everyone? Apparently not.
Obviously, our first prototype lacked the desired strength. The next iteration was imbued with excessive arcane power.
Wait, this isn't the last spot, is it? What were the other games like, Johnny? Were they like... Was it looking kind of rough? Like... Do we still feel like Vegas the better team? You're not confident? Oh, shit.
Unstable arcane circuits was useless, so we refined the infusion process. Die, lesser things! Rusted to nothing. Perfection incarnate.
Probably don't get deep breath, tell ya. Maybe it's up by it just because it's not a giant shield. That's a big shield. Barrel I want to say like 10 heroic kills on each character that got it. Maybe. Less than one other than 7 actually. I was actually on the luckiest side with that. They may have increased the drop chance since though. All right, that's very good. We got 2 upgrades now sorted out.
Your performance is beyond my expectations.
Wait, you knew these creatures were waiting to be unleashed.
Of course, and you rose to the challenge, as I knew you would.
This all seems questionable. How malleable is this vision of yours?
Yeah, normal. I think heroic. It has a much higher drop chance than heroic.
Sibelian, as my blood, I look to you to inherit. But know there are many who would steal your birthright. Even now, Jaredin forces use the
Ow.
chaos to launch an assault. They must be stopped.
I will not yield any ground.
Playing Asher, right? Yeah, it is. Is the Evoke one increased drop chance this week? Does anyone know? I kind of feel like I see it a lot more often, but apparently it's like region wide or something, not just server wide. All right, I got the thing where it's like desynced my sound again. We're going to assault now, right? Then shock. Yeah. Okay. I mean, if we can. I think the majority of bosses are easy in here. I don't know if we can get Scan. But I also don't know if I need to. Oh, I do. I need to get one more, yeah. Maybe if I get 10 from PvP. I don't much care for the tear, I just really care about, I mean, I need to be strong enough to do Mythic Plus. So I guess in that sense it could be relevant, but I already have tear on this character. I have 4-piece. Not 5/12 4-piece, but I mean. We're a pug though. I can't promise that we're. Keep in mind, they invited me, right? I have no achievements. I'm not even high level. I thought I was so clever when I made this name. And then every other person had like fucking some variation of Illidan. Turns out being a DH with Illidan, like Aden or whatever in your name, not super inventive. All right, now we just split the raid, right? What does Zergit mean?
Search for the reason why the days just pass me by. We travel through the light to a city shining white.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Didn't see that damn loud. Is this working? Or are we fucked? Oh, this is unphasing. That's not ideal. Not super confident. But I'm alive. Yeah, I'm still here outside of that, but I'm probably dead. I'm alive. Let's see if it's this dumb pano. Seems like it makes my thing unstable. For some reason, streaming with like thing in full screen really fucks with my.
A fine victory, my
Alright, we
son.
won.
I expected.
I live too.
The crucible is not yet secure. There is
Alright.
one last obstacle that stands in your path.
Wait on
And I will see it removed.
that. Gee, that's weird. I don't see any reason why.
I will be free.
It's probably, I don't know.
This beast was not in the attack. It was what they were hoping to free.
It's either VRAM or no more RAM.
Now we must dispose of it before the conduits overload and destroy us all.
The millennia of torment ends. Destruction begins. Certain aspects shall burn. My rage cannot be quelled. Was this all the dragons could muster? Ha!
See ya, Anda. Hey, Al, how are we going today, buddy? Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna make it tonight to raid. I think we've got Williams sit like for right at the time. Yeah, he was in here, Wixo. He came in and he was saying that he was playing against you. How did it go in the end? He said he almost got you. I think he was up crazy late. They're refilling. This might be last boss. I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna try and get some dinner before we have all games tonight, and then I'll be back after tonight for just a little. I'm not sure when we play tomorrow. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, they've done like different shades of colors. Like monks and evokers have very similar colors, just like shades of green. No, you're right. 100%. I completely agree. I think the hero class thing is kind of their attempt at testing as well with that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it's their way to test whether they can do, rather than doing new classes, which are complicated, they can do like shades of, like, you know, versions of the same class that feel a little bit different. That guy just died. Okay. Tanks have died. Oh, is the tank mechanic like a multi? What is the tank mechanic? You taunt on the cast. All right, this will be last pull because I think it's time to go in a sec. Not a huge deal. I got a lot farmed today. I got a lot farmed. This boss, I think this gun is much harder than this boss. Nice work, sir. That's awesome.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Feels like a lot of mechanics don't hurt too much. Oh, I know the mechanic now. Yeah, it's taunt on the. They've done that a couple times. Not ideal placement for that mechanic, but Uh-oh. Not everyone does shit. Just dodge. Did it right. DHPV is actually very satisfying. Guess I'm gonna try to burn this before. We did it.
Well done. The conduit will remain dormant, though we need to restore it soon. Perhaps there are fresh jars outside that you can harvest.
You expect me to? Can't you see? I will not.
All right, that is.
No matter. Perhaps Rathian will have the crucible awaits.
The last thing I'm doing is on this guy. I just gotta win like 7 games of 3s. Which will happen probably on the way up to 2100 anyway. So that was a lot more convenient. It's 512. Yeah, not bad. Lots of upgrades. Then we have to do the Awaken ones, or the Aspects ones. All right, guys, that is the end of today's stream. I'll be on tonight, but I'm not entirely sure what time tonight. It might be very late. We've got AWC tomorrow. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Thank you guys for making today incredible. I know that today we don't normally stream at this time at all. Appreciate you guys being around. I appreciate you guys being so supportive. My UI is pretty custom, I think, Alexander, but you can see my add-ons here. Well, Big Wigs doesn't really count. Big debuffs, advanced interface options, classic cast bars, classic numbers. Details doesn't really matter. I guess the look is mostly normal UI, actually, with weak cores and stuff. You could just clip this if you want to look at the add-ons I'm using. And most of them aren't customized very much. Nothing crazy. But thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you Sheepa White for the 28-month resub, Neeps for the 27-month resub, Locked for the 2-month resub, Hikamira for the 45-month resub, Def for 5, 5, and 5 for 15 gifted subs, Dirty for the 4-month resub, Loki for the 14-month resub, Thel for the 39-month resub, Fried for 50 gifted subs at the start of the stream as well, Sunny for the gifted sub, Ken for the 8-month resub, Liam for the gifted sub, King for the 34-month resub, Sunny for another gifted sub, and Tari for the 9-month resub as well. Diff for 20 gifted subs today, 5 more gifted subs right now. You're actually insane, buddy. Thank you for all the support. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, like I said. Once these dragons finish, I'll be heading off. We're going to take Aaron out for some nice dinner, and then War Games. I think War Games are in like 2 hours and 45 minutes. So hopefully we get back in time for those. I should be. And we're on like a really like different schedule as well. But yeah, we should be on tonight for at least like 2 or 3 hours, at least. If not earlier. There's a possibility War Games fall through and we just stream when I get back as well. But I wanted to get a stream in today. I will do this again next week. Thank you guys for making this so fucking awesome as well, though. I will talk to you guys in probably between like 4 and 6 hours for a couple hours at least. But we'll be around tomorrow as well. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the support. We love you guys. Have an awesome weekend. Thank you so much again. To Def for 20 gifted subs and 5 right now as well. See you, anybody. Good luck to the night tonight as well. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching, guys.